I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and norm when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe, your main man's Uncle Freezy. What's good? What's good, party people? What's good? Yo, y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? Bim. Blue tears. Orange tears. Blorange tears. Bim. Let's go. Let's go. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Clap your hands, everybody. Everybody, clap your hands. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Let's start this Knicks marathon, man. Let's start this Knicks marathon. I see y'all. What's good? Selly in the building, D'Angelo, DSJ, Miss Geraldine, Black University. Hey, J-Dub in the building. Fozzie, what's good? JJ, what's good? I see y'all. Let's start this party off right. Let's start this party off quickly. Right? Tiffany Smith is in the building. What's good? Clap your hands, everybody. Everybody, clap your hands. Yo. So before we get deep into this Knicks talk, subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Consider joining the channel. I'm collaborating with two people on two new shows. And they are going to be for members only. 2 members only shows. Right? 2 members only shows. Things, it is what it is. I try to do everything right, but I got to do something special for the members. Right? So I got something dope that I'm going to do for the members. since the members do, go above and beyond to do a certain thing. So I'm going to do something for the members. Something with Sarge and something with a young firecracker that's been on the channel here for a little bit. Right? Jay Singh is in the building. What's good? Sarge, I see you. Mr. Wolf, what's good? Yo, let me get into this conversation, man, about Jalen Brunson. I've been thinking about it for a while now, and I think you guys are sleeping on Jalen Brunson because Spider Mitchell is available. Let me mute that. I just want to mute that, man. I can't be distracted when I'm here rocking with y'all. Eli M, what's good? I think the Jalen Brunson thing is being slept on because Donovan Mitchell is on the way. Right. My man legit is on the way. And I think we're sleeping on Jalen Brunson. We were talking about Grimes and Obi and who should stay and draft picks and what we're going to give up and what the team's going to look like and all this stuff. And in my opinion, the most important part of the equation is Jalen Brunson. And I know yesterday the Knicks put on the Knicks held a press conference without press. Yeah. The Knicks put on a press conference yesterday without press, which is funny, right? But whatever. The most important thing to this equation, the most important thing in this equation is Jalen Brunson. And here's why. And here's why. Oh, there's Miss Mocha. Okay. Thank you, Miss Mocha. I got it. Miss Mocha brought me lunch. Wow. Okay. Wow. Mo brought me lunch. Thank you, Miss Mocha. Jalen Brunson is important because the first thing that we complain about was debunked. The first thing that we complain about was debunked, right? And that is that free agents don't want to come here. Right? I complain about that a lot. Man, ain't nobody coming here. Free agents ain't signing here. Well, the first major free agent, he signed here. Doesn't seem like a major steps. I'm sorry, doesn't seem like a major step, but it was a major step. Because regardless of relationships, Regardless of previous relationships, people did not come here. Right? People didn't want to come here. For whatever reason, people did not want to come here. Jalen Brunson debunked that. And he signed here. And it was easy. Wasn't a tough thing to do. It looks as if he wanted to come here. Right? D Nice. Hey, D Nice, listen. I feel you. I feel you on this, right? But name one. Name one that's not named Carmelo Anthony or Jalen Brunson. Mo Bamba was a free agent. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. I wish that were the case, though. New York guys or guys with New York roots will come here. I wish that was the case, bro. I wish that was the case, but historically, that's not necessarily all the way accurate. Right? Historically, that's not all the way accurate. I wish that was accurate, but it's not totally all the way. Right? Because guys with New York roots, I wish that was the case, but nah, they don't flock here. That was debunked, right? And here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing. New York got their point guard of the future. New York got their point guard of the future. So two things happened. The block that used to be free agents don't come here, that has been dispelled, at least for the moment. And the Knicks can't find a point guard. That has been debunked also. Right? Here's part 3 of the why Jalen Brunson's signing here is important. And I'm going to name a stat that I've been naming 3 or 4 times a week, every week since the season ended. The New York Knicks finished 7th in pick and roll attempts, right? They did it a lot. They did it for a long time, and they were not very good at it. And by signing Jalen Brunson, they bring in a guy that's good at it. Excuse me for the yawns, I don't know. Y'all ever been? I'm not tired or sleepy. I just have the yawns. It's weird, man. DSJ, that's not funny. They also don't get picked here. That's not funny, bro. I see where you're going. And for those keeping score, The aquarium now has occupants. The aquarium now has occupants. They in there somewhere. You can see them moving around in there. It's occupants in there. And so I need to name them. I need to name the occupants. But I don't know what to name them. I don't know what to name them. I'm thinking about naming them Quick and Obi. Thought about that. Thought about Quick and Obi, but I'm not sure yet. Brunson and Spider. Wow. Okay. I don't know yet. Let me see. I don't know yet. Breen and Clyde. Well, hey, the Breen would be new, but I've named at least 20 fish Clyde. I love Clyde Frazier. He's my favorite Knick of all time. Clyde Frazier is my favorite Knick of all time. Followed closely by John Starks and Michael Ray Richardson. Black University says, name them Hoodie Cav. No. Trust me. That environment is too messy for Hoodie Cav. Everything has to be pristine for Hoodie Cav. Y'all know Hoodie Cav. Everything has to be pristine. Shout out to Hoodie Cav. He's somewhere out there. So shout out to Hoodie Cav. Yo, Steak and Shake. Wow. Hey, and so I was thinking about naming them Ernie and Bert. I was thinking about legit. I was thinking about naming them Ernie and Bert. Right? Yeah, man. But here's the thing. Jalen Brunson signing here signifies a lot of things. Right? For one, the Knicks ran a system that was highly inefficient, but now you bring in an efficient point guard historically, and now Bo Ismail, Gay Fish. Nah, man, I don't know. I don't judge. I'm not a judger. I'm not a judge. Right? I don't judge, man. I let people live. I let people do them. Whatever they want to do, as long as they're not harming others, I don't care. But yeah. Subliminal 209 is in the building. Make sure y'all check out Knicks After Party tomorrow night at 11. Make sure you check out Knicks Freestyle tonight at 8 o'clock. Last night, we rocked for 7.5 hours from 8 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. We rock from 8 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. And to be honest with you, I feel like rocking like that again right now. I want to rock right now. I'm Uncle Freezy, and I came to get down. And I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock a microphone. Bim. Bim. Right? I see my people in the chat. Right? Let me put the invite out here. Let me do this. Because I want to have the Jalen Brunson conversation, right? I want to have the Jalen. And listen, guys, I know how y'all do. Like, people have agendas. They have something they want to talk about. They be like, Jalen Brunson, yeah. And then they turn it into, yeah, but I still hate Randall and I still want to fire Tibbs. I'm like, okay. So even though we talking about Jalen Brunson and we want to throw out certain agendas, like legit, man, you know. Yo. Jay, listen. In the immortal words of the great American poet, KRS-One, we're not starting no trouble. We're just having some fun. Right? Yeah. So the Jalen Brunson thing is a serious achievement for this Knicks organization who has a deficit of significant achievements. Coach, what's good?
Yo, what's good? Back again.
Back again. Hey, Miss Geraldine said, ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep. I don't blame you. Listen, we were rocking, man. It was the only reason, and to be honest with you, the only reason why we even stopped was because the chat ran out of energy. Danny, hold on, Danny. Hold on.
Thank you, Freezy.
Yo.
How are you?
Good. How you doing, boss?
Not bad. Work as usual.
As usual, bro.
It never ends.
As usual. It never ends, bro.
Just like you. You never sleep. You're always working.
Always trying to, bro.
We have no choice.
Always, yeah. Always trying to. I have roommates now.
Oh
I
yeah.
have roommates. Yeah, I have roommates now.
Ah, I see that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
two
have
little babies,
perfect.
bro.
How many? Two.
Two.
Why don't you name them like from Rocky, Cuff and Link?
Remember
that?
You remember that, man? That's old school. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's old school, bro. Yeah, man.
I used to have fish freezy, and then they started dying. They were dying on us a lot, so we didn't get any more after a while.
Yeah, because it'll be frustrating, man. After a while.
Can't overfeed them.
Yeah, and then the environment for them has got to be perfect too. Hey, Jarrell, what's good? Hey, well, I'm thinking about it.
But our point guard needs to
Obi and
overfeed
Quickly.
people, though.
Man, this Jalen Brunson thing is significant, bro. This Jalen Brunson thing is significant because if Jalen Brunson can lift our offensive efficiency from 28th in the pick and roll to say 15th, I think we're a number two, not number two, but a second round playoff team.
I agree.
That's significant. Yeah, so we're gonna do a poll. I saw you. Yeah, we're gonna do a poll, right? And I'm gonna do the fan love poll and put it out there. I just want to crank up some things first. I gotta make sure that we do things in order, like establish the conversation, get the conversation going, add points to the conversations that matter, and then if the poll is on a different subject, introduce that topic and then put the poll out there. But you just can't do random stuff, bro. People don't want to follow somebody that's all over the place. Right? So we'll get to the poll. We'll put the poll up in a little while. Right? But guys, what are y'all thinking about Jalen Brunson's signing with the Knicks? Not what he provides on the court, right? Not what he provides on the court, but him signing with the Knicks.
Well, anytime you get a higher tier player that's homegrown, like, from the area, there's going to be some extra buzz about him. And someone who fits our coach's style and makes people better. I mean, it's all a win-win to me.
Okay. So how do y'all feel about him choosing the Knicks over Dallas?
Excellent. I'm hyped. He looks like a genuinely nice kid, Freezy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, because even Mark Cuban was very complimentary of him. He said he made the best decision for him. He understands, he enjoyed having him there. He wished he could have kept him. So you don't see owners come out like that much.
No.
Right. Right.
Sprewell was there, right?
Yeah, Sprewell was there. Rick was there. Sprewell was there. Houston was there, and Herb Williams.
That was Herb Williams.
Yeah, that was Herb. Hey, and Herb Williams is one of my top 10 all-time favorite Knicks. No, hey, you breaking up, bro. We can't understand you. You breaking up some.
Wow, better?
Yeah. Yeah, but we didn't hear anything you said before that, though.
Oh, I said Herb Williams was an excellent player. Never trouble. Always for the team, that guy.
Yep.
Very nice
Herb
guy.
Williams. Yeah, Herb Williams is that dude, man.
Yeah, he's one of them veteran, great locker room guy, team guy.
Yeah.
When you got guys like that standing behind somebody and trying to help them, help get a certain player to our team, that's always a good thing.
Of course. Freezy,
Yeah.
I'm surprised LJ wasn't there. Where was LJ?
I don't know.
He's
Where was
usually always
Bernard King?
around.
Where was Bernard King? Bernard King lived in the city too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Bernard
don't
King?
know.
And Rick Brunson, the father, didn't look too happy. He wasn't smiling too much.
Yeah, Jalen wasn't smiling either. And so what I'm thinking, maybe they're just serious dudes.
Yeah, it could be. There's dudes like that don't so smile that much that are cool,
Yeah.
But I always get hyped seeing Spreewell and Houston. Houston looks young, bro. He doesn't look like he's that old, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sprewell
like
aged.
Still got it.
Sprewell aged, bro.
Yeah, Sprewell.
He aged, bro. He aged.
Yeah, he looked old as dirt. Spree, you look old as dirt, Spree.
He looks older than me.
Yeah. Spree, you don't look spry, Spree.
He started looking old towards the end of his career anyway. He got
Exactly.
that old man look.
Yeah.
So what happens when you choke coaches. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, man. So the signing of Jalen Brunson is significant because he turned the tide of these rumors and narratives and things that say people that play at a high level don't want to play for New York. So that's significant, right? And so I think the Donovan Mitchell thing is wearing down everybody. Like, instead of us being jubilant that we got him, I think it's going to be like a more of an exasperation. Like, he finally made it.
Like the hurry up and wait situation.
Yeah.
I almost wish we didn't hear about it till right before they really pulled the trigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And so what it does is it makes one team or the other look bad, and it shouldn't be that way.
Cool.
Jerry Fitz says 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years. I agree with you there. My only thing is if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not, don't. Just do something. This whole thing, like making promises thing, is always a burden. Right?
Hey, Freezy, I have a feeling we're not going to get this guy. He's going to go to another team. I have this strong feeling deep inside,
Right.
Yeah, but I mean that's that Knicks curse thing, man. That feeling that we have, that you get your hopes up for something and then you get let down, But the positive thing that I feel comes from this that I've been seeing is you don't see any other teams except there was that little bit of a Miami Heat trickling. Usually you hear a lot more team names being thrown in the mix because the media is going to try to grab as many teams as they can to make it seem special. But you're not hearing of any other team talking about him.
Right.
And it's been a week.
Right.
Make their presence known.
Right.
What do you think, Freezy? What's your feeling?
My feeling is, man, look at this. Look who we got backstage. I see you. I'm gonna bring it on. I'm gonna bring you on. Hold on, give me a second. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's good? Breezy?
Man, it's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, bro.
Yeah, I saw you hanging out in the chat, man. I
Yeah.
was like, hey, look at him. When you
I'm
showed
popping
up
in
backstage,
all the
I
Knicks
was like, my
content,
man.
All the Knicks content, bro.
Yeah, man. You doing good?
Yeah. How about yourself, man? You gotta get some Knicks content in that tank of yours, bro.
Listen, the last thing we want in a thing that's considered a tank is Knicks stuff. We don't want to equate Knicks and tank together, right?
Bro, you gotta get some blue and orange lights all over that shit. Put the garden right in the middle.
I got some. Ironically, I have some. So I went to the pet store yesterday, and I didn't want to get into the long story of a stinky pet store and all that stuff. But I do have orange rocks I'm going to add to it.
Oh,
so I don't know if you could tell, but the first layer of rocks are blue and black. Right?
Nah, it's hard to tell. I'm on my phone, so
yeah. But I have some orange rocks I'm gonna layer over the top.
That's lit.
So it'll be blue and orange. Y'all know me, bro.
Hey, just give me a little whatchamacallit, interior designing for the fish tank.
Yo, what I really need help with is naming the fish, bro.
Coffin Lake.
I hadn't named them yet.
Bro, give him the all-time Nick of all time, David Lee, bro.
Yo, I was
David
leaning.
Lee.
I'm leaning towards. No lie. I'm leaning towards Quick and Obi.
I like it. Just hopefully they're on the team. That's the only problem.
I know, because I hate to have to get rid of. I hate to have to send a fish to Utah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
like why would I?
If you name them Obi and Quick, and one gets traded, just get rid of one. That's it.
Just send them. Just send them to Utah, bro.
Get a new fish and name them whatever player comes.
Name them Spider.
Yeah, that's it.
But the irony is, how do you name a fish Spider?
I like that. That's true. That's true. Spider Cuz. Name him Spider Cuz.
Yo. So how do you feel about the Jalen Brunson signing?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it, dude. He's got heart. He's a good ball player. He has respect around the league. All bringing him in is gonna just like help the team. Everybody's gonna wind up having better numbers. He's gonna have assists. You know, I honestly like the signing Brunson. I would like Spider. I'll give up as many picks as possible. I don't give a fuck about the picks. We have, excuse my French. We got Obi, we got Quickly, we got Grimes, we got all these young players that come off the bench and produce, you know, and they can grow as they're playing.
Okay.
I like Quick coming off and running the second unit. Him and Obi obviously have good chemistry. So I'd rather just get rid of as many picks and Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose. If I have to give up one, I'll give up Grimes or Cam Reddish, I guess. I like Cam too, but what are we going to do with all these players? So getting Spider kind of helps our roster a little bit, helps people move up, but
see that. But that's the ultimate strategy.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate strategy is this: draft superstars that you hope will be generational talents, right? If they don't turn out to be stars or generational talent, just turn out to be quality NBA players, find a role for them, right? And if you can't find a role for them, then consolidate them to fit your need, right?
Yeah.
Right? So ultimately, draft a star. Okay, he's not a star. Can he fit a role for us? Right? Okay, say he's a shooting guard and his path is blocked by RJ Barrett. Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll consolidate those assets to bring in somebody that fits next to RJ. So now even if your best laid plan fails, right? Because you didn't draft a star, you can still make use of it. You can still repurpose the asset, right? The last thing you want to do is draft an asset and then it's completely worthless, right? Like Kevin Knox.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like Kevin Knox, like Frank Ntilikina.
I mean,
right?
Kevin Knox looks like a cartoon character, bro. I don't even know. Like, I love him. He's a good guy, but I mean, I didn't see anything there with him.
Right. Right.
Same thing with Frank, like Frank Neil Killian, whatever the fuck his name is, French guy.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything with that guy. I don't know why we drafted him.
Over Donovan Mitchell. So you
I know.
drafted Frank
That's the whole
over
point.
Donovan Mitchell.
Now we have to pay for him.
Right. And that's why I tell people it's not about stop talking about tanking or the number one pick, because it doesn't matter where you pick. It matters who you select. Right. In that Frank draft, I think the number one pick was Markelle Fultz. Is Markelle Fultz that number one pick better than Donovan Mitchell that was selected at 13? No.
That's crazy.
So it doesn't matter. See, if the Knicks had the number one pick, they'd have took Markelle Fultz, and he would have been a bust, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have taken Donovan Mitchell number one, even though Donovan Mitchell would have been the better player. My point is, you don't have to.
Maybe he had the New York ties, so maybe they would. But obviously they didn't, because Phil Jackson had all the say on that.
Yeah, Phil Jackson wanted a 6'6" guard. He wanted his guards to be big. Remember, it's the reason why he ran off Shane Larkin. Remember, we had Shane Larkin, who was a quality player, and he said, he was like, yo, Shane Larkin's hands are too small. Really? What's he do? Put in light bulbs? What are you talking about, Phil Jackson? Phil Jackson ran that man out of town because he said his hands are too small.
Hey, then he would have not liked Jalen Brunson, because Jalen Brunson got some small hands too.
Right. That's what I mean, bro. That's what I'm. But now you get what I'm talking about. By it's not about where you draft; it's about who you select.
Right, it's quality, bro.
Yeah, Phil Jackson was not a great selector.
Nah, he was a great coach. He had great players though. So I mean,
right. And you know what though, and I'm here to tell you this. Phil Jackson won a lot of championships, right? Won a lot of championships as a coach. The fourth player, you could say his fourth best player was Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
One could say
he's got three in the top 10, basically. He's got three in the top 10 all time.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Scottie Pippen's what, in the 50s, maybe 60s,
maybe.
I don't even know where you play Scottie, especially with all his shenanigans that he's doing afterwards. But
I would say Scottie Pippen is a top 25 player of all time.
I would think so, just because he's both sides of the ball. He was a tremendous defender, better than Jordan, and he could score, But yeah, Jordan.
And as Scottie got older, he hit a lot of important shots.
He did. Didn't he go to take the Blazers in the playoffs? Didn't he take them?
Yeah, man. Scottie Pippen hit a lot of important shots in his career, bro.
And he also led the Bulls to the Eastern Conference Finals and took the Knicks to 7 games as the leader of that team.
But that just goes to show you, he still needed that. He still needed Jordan, no matter what.
No matter what.
Jordan was that guy.
Right,
like
and
LeBron or Luka or Giannis. Those are those guys. Right. Those 5 guys that are nobody else can do what they do,
Right. And not only they can't do what they do, but most players can't do it consistently.
Exactly. On an every night basis.
On an every night basis, when everybody in the world knows you have to do it. Mm-hmm. Y'all, let me bring in Free Keith for just 1 second, y'all. Give me a second so that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, what's good, bro?
What it
What's good,
do?
boss?
What it do? What's good, families?
Yo.
Ain't nothing to it, man. How you doing this morning or this afternoon?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. Just hearing y'all talk the shenanigans. Felt inspired.
You ready for me to bash the front office?
What?
You ready for me to bash the front office?
I mean, you can go ahead and bash whoever you want to bash. Like, I'm here for results. And so far, you can't bash. Nobody can bash the results that's looking like it's that these guys are achieving. That's where I'm at with it. But feel free.
37 wins.
Wait, with or without
Come
Spider? Are we
on,
talking
man.
about?
37 wins. What does that even mean? What do you mean?
That means this front office is a 37 win front office.
I don't understand how they're a 37 win front office when the season before they won 42 games, right?
Yeah,
41
and
games,
Julius
41 and
Randle.
41
31.
games.
Yeah,
So how is it that they're just how is that?
because because you are what your resume says you are.
That's what I'm saying, but that's also in their resume. So how come it's not 41 and not 30? And how come it's not 41?
Okay, so you want to split it different? 39 wins.
I mean, no, but this is what I'm saying. It's a matter of what you are choosing. Like you literally chose the lowest number.
No, I chose the most
That
recent
sounds like
number.
a setup to me.
No, I chose the most recent number.
Just like Janet, what have you done for me lately?
Dun, dun, dun,
Hey.
dun.
All I know is it's been 2.5 seasons. It's been 2.5 seasons, and I never expected us to go from the worst team in the league, most dysfunctional over the last 20 years, to a championship team in 2.5 seasons.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
What's irrelevant? All I'm looking for is progress. And can anyone raise their hands and say that we haven't made progress?
No, I'm saying we went from dysfunctional to relevant.
Exactly. I haven't even heard the word dysfunctional and Knicks mentioned in the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
To me, that's a win because that's the first step. Hey, you could say what you want about whether you want Spider or you don't want Spider or this, that, and the other. But like, yo, we got stars that want to come here.
What?
When was the last time you heard that?
Like,
Come on, bro.
Let's
like,
all be honest.
That front office. Don't kill the front office, yo. Like, don't kill them. They on they joint.
Now, at first, I was playing with you when I brought the 37 wins. I am impressed by what they're doing.
I mean, everything looks like they set it up for this whole event from beginning to end. Now, Brunson taking them from the Mavs, Spider, like everything. They went to that game knowing that Brunson and Mitchell were there. I mean, it was all in the books. They sent Randall there. Randall was our star, and that's what it is. This is our team. This is what's going to happen.
So, did we know that Kemba was going to lay an egg like he did when he came here?
It was 50-50.
But no one predicted that.
Yeah.
That was literally the direct result of why we're only a 37 win team last year.
Yeah, I think Kemba lied to them too, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I think Kemba lied to them, bro. Big time. I think Kemba had to tell them that he was good
to get paid somewhere, to get a contract somewhere.
Yeah. I think Kemba lied to him, told the front office that he was good. Man, I had a bug come from out of nowhere, bro. So wasp, what the hell?
Damn, boy.
Free Keith sending people after me. Free Keith, you sending wasps after me, bro?
And really, we can't complain about what Fournier was. I mean, he pretty much did what he's done,
what he normally does.
Yeah, Fournier is a solid player, man. There's nothing wrong with him. He came to the team. He's a good dude.
He's a solid role guy that can give you a spark some nights off the bench. And
yeah, I agree. I saw like a trade. I had sent it in a link somewhere during one of the chats, but I saw something about like if they had added the Lakers in on a 3-way trade, then you could send Fournier and Mike Conley to the Lakers. The Jazz would get the Lakers picks, our picks. I forget how many picks total, and they would take Westbrook, buy him out, I guess, or just use him for the year, and then the Knicks would get Donovan Mitchell and Pat Bev. I think that's how the money worked out.
Wow. Okay.
But that was like it was posted yesterday. I don't know if it's a reputable source or whatever. It's just a tweet.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it looked like something I would do. I would take either Pat Bev or Bogdan.
Okay.
Then I would give away some of the young players because now I have Bogdan off the bench.
Right. How close to a chip does bringing in Bogdan instead of developing Obi make you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would also rather get rid of Randall if I could and try to let Obi get more minutes than Bogdan as the backup.
Okay.
I don't think
Obi spreads the floor really well. With
I don't think either
athleticism.
moves the needle that much.
Okay.
Because the positives on one and the negatives on the other outweigh each other on either
Bogdan's
side.
a better defender than Fournier, right?
Fournier has a 112.9 defensive rating. And so which one is it? Is it Bogdan or Bojan?
I forget. I think it's one's on the Hawks and one's on the Jazz. So I forget which one's which.
Let me.
It's so similar.
Bojan is on the Jazz.
Yeah, the one on the Jazz is the longer one, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I think he's like 6'5", 6'6".
No, Bojan is terrible, bro.
Good.
No, he is terrible.
He's just a scorer then.
Yeah, his defensive rating is 114.5, bro.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
terrible.
I'd much rather Pat Bev, but then you're losing a spot for. It depends who you're losing as young players. If Pat Bev will come off the bench.
Oh yeah,
right.
Hey, but I was intrigued by that. I don't want to go off topic too much, but when you brought up Favors last night, I'm curious what his defensive numbers were.
I can check real quick.
He's only 30, bro.
Really?
Only
Holy
30. Shit. He's only 30, bro. He's got
at
least.
If you look at his rebounds, like for the minutes he played, like he could still rebound at a high clip, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek Favors' defensive rating. Okay, wait a minute. So in 2001, his defensive rating was 103.1. That's excellent, bro.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And what, he's a free agent right now? He's just sitting out there?
I'm not for sure.
I think the Jazz bought him out or something, or they didn't pick up his option or something.
Could do that too.
All right. So Derek, I don't know why they do that, bro. Let me do.
I thought he had a year.
All right. So his defensive rating this year was 112.1. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's better than RJ and Evan Fournier.
The thing is, are we really getting killed on the boards now? I mean, we've got 3 centers who could all jump. You got Randall, who is a rebounder on the offensive end, right?
I'm just setting up the idea of if we get Mitchell, the rumors that
Westbrook, right?
that supposedly pushes Randall out the door to open up money for another guy. And that's all I was thinking about, you know.
Oh yeah, if we get rid of Randall, I'm down for whoever's available. I guess
that's the rumor they were saying Randall for Westbrook. I was reading this morning.
And then we buy out Westbrook or whatever. I guess
I would, and see that's where I think the mistakes start getting made. Because if you just buy out Westbrook, right?
Make a cap space, right?
No, because he still counts against the cap.
Oh, for this.
For this season, right? So my deal would be this dude is making almost $50 million, and he's an expiring contract, right? Why not trade him to a team that needs cap space? Like give me young players and draft picks for this $50 million in cap space that you otherwise would not have.
The Spurs? That's the only team.
No. You'll do it to a fringe team, like a team that's on the cusp of doing something, but they can't because they don't have Washington.
Toronto.
Does Toronto have big contracts? No. Does Toronto have big contracts? So for instance, would you guys do if you trade Randall and you trade Obi, would you do a Westbrook to the Washington Wizards for Kristaps Porzingis and a first-round pick?
Yes.
I love that Kristaps back, honestly, even though, injuries and everything. I never wanted him to leave.
Right. And what Porzingis does is he stretches the floor, and he's an excellent weak side shot blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And listen, I'm talking about the player type guys. I don't care that he played for the Knicks and what went on and all that stuff. What I'm saying, and this is to the chat. What I'm saying, so virtual chat, what I'm saying is, would you be open to, say, taking on a big long-term deal, like maybe 2 years or 3 years, if a team would attach 2 first-round picks to it, just for Russell Westbrook's expiring contract? And then, in theory, think about what I'm asking you. Would any team give you a young player and 2 first-round picks for Julius Randle?
What was the question?
No. Would any team give you a quality young player, right?
Mm-hmm.
A veteran, and 2 first-round picks for Julius Randle?
Not at the moment, no.
No. But if you traded Randle and brought in Westbrook for that $50 million in cap space, would a team give you a nice veteran, a young player, and 2 first-round picks? Yes. Yes, because they're already capped out, and you legit give them $47 million, which would be about that means going into next summer, 40% of their salary cap will be gone. So they could shop until they drop next summer.
Yeah.
It's hard to find contracts that'll match that big contract freeze.
Yeah. 47 million. I get it. I get it. But you're not just talking about Randall. You're also talking about other pieces that you would have that you could move, like Fournier, Rose, and Randall. Like Fournier is 18 million. Randall is 23 million plus his trade kicker. That's 43 million.
I don't think Rose is going anywhere.
Yeah, that gets the deal done anyway. Just Fournier and Randall together is enough, because all you have to do is be within 5% of the proposed deal of the other person's contract if both teams are over the cap.
Would you rather do that and just wipe your hand clean of both Randall and Fournier and have the flexibility on your books?
But that's also an option. That's what I mean, right? Or you know what else you could do? You can trade Russell Westbrook for a star right now. You can, in theory, trade Russell Westbrook for a Pascal Siakam, right? You could say, hey, we'll give you Russell Westbrook and 3 of these protected first round picks for Spicy P, and then every night you would roll out with a Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Pascal Siakam, Mitchell Robinson type lineup.
Yeah, I'll be down for that. Pascal fits the bill better than Julius does when it comes to spreading the floor. So
right, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why I say don't necessarily shut yourself out on a Russell Westbrook to the Knicks thing, because if we get him, you don't necessarily just have to cut him, because when you get Westbrook, you don't look at him as Westbrook the player, you look at him as Westbrook
six man.
Now you look at him as Westbrook, the $47 million expiring contract.
No, I have no problem bringing him in for the 1 year. I don't give a cool, and then we'll get rid of him.
Yeah, Eddie C, what's good, bro?
What's up, guys? Good afternoon.
How you doing, man?
My question is this: for what reason wouldn't Utah want Westbrook? For the same reasons that we're speaking of expiring, and that way they can get one of their bad contracts off their books.
Because Utah wants Victor, whatever his last name is.
No, but you don't. But we've been talking about buying out Westbrook, right? So,
Oh, that route, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so you're
absolutely
basically you're guaranteeing if, for example, let's say we make a hypothetical 3-team trade where Julius Randle goes to the Lakers. Utah sends Mike Conley to the Lakers, and then the Lakers send Westbrook to Utah, and we get Donovan. Obviously, we have to add different pieces. Utah might get Grimes, this and that, but in that way, Utah gets a young player in Grimes. Utah gets a $47 million expiring contract where they can buy out now. He doesn't have to play a game in their uniform. And that guarantees them to not be a very good team because they'll basically have nobody on that team except for Jordan Clarkson, which they can trade off.
He should go to Dallas with Luka.
Westbrook?
No, Clarkson.
They were talking about that. It looks like they want to do that. I don't know what Dallas has to offer, but
yeah, I don't know if they have any picks or they don't have too many players.
I mean,
to really
Dorian Finney-Smith, but not to rail off from there. Like, why isn't Westbrook to Utah being talked about more? Just for that same take, just to because I think they can even get off Donovan, they can get off Conley, and they can get off Beasley in one full swoop with adding a $47 million expiring contract of Russell Westbrook.
Right.
And not have him play one game in their jersey.
I just don't think that the Randall to the Lakers thing, because LeBron's kind of starting to transform into the 4 a lot. They're trying to sneak AD into the 5 more. I just don't see Randall wanting.
No.
I mean, Lakers wanting Randall.
I said the trade earlier would be Fournier and Connolly to the Lakers. This way they get shooting and a point guard if he's healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, AD and Randall already played together in New Orleans, so they have some type of knowledge.
They have chemistry. True.
Right. They help each other because, Julius can be a defensive rebounder down low. So AD doesn't have to be that that big presence, and AD stretches the floor out for Julius. So
I can see that if Randall kind of starts transforming into like a smaller 5 kind of player.
He shred some weight already, so he's looking pretty. I
think as in both of those guys, they're a pretty good match. LeBron James, I have no worries about LeBron James transforming into anything he wants to be. And in this trade scenario, you also get a point guard for this year and for next year, which is the Lakers' main goal is to win a chip now. Their shooting guard position is the one that they have the most pressing need at that point, and they still have Taylor Horton Tucker, so he can probably be their shooting guard.
Or you could ship Fournier to the Lakers in that trade and send Tucker to the Jazz, so they get a younger player.
Yeah, I mean, I would do all of those things. The I guess at that point, the biggest part is how much farther into the luxury tax do you want to be in, so that you don't want to pay, that much, the triple or the quadruple times what your team salary is to try to go for a chip. But if the main goal is for the Lakers to win it within the next 2 years,
they have to. That's LeBron's got 2-3 more years. I mean, he might have more because he's a fucking beast. But
adding a Julius Randle it looks to me like it's a team-friendly deal for 3 years at least, 27 million, 26 million, and 25 million, I believe, because it descends. No, for Julius, I think Julius is almost around the same. Decedes a little bit, Maybe not as much as Brunson's, but it decreases a little bit,
Well,
and then he has a 4th-year player option. So he's going to be there for the next 3 years, and probably LeBron is going to be there for the next 3 years. And they have to get creative because there's not that many pieces out there for them to move. And Mike Conley is a steady guy at point guard who can also play off the ball.
And he could shoot right and left. So
yeah, we got to look at with Brunson. What got everyone so hyped about Brunson in the first place? It was how he performed when Luka went down, and he found a way to take over. Now, how was Dallas built during that time when Luka was out? Like, what kind of players? Like, what kind of team? Because let's face it, if we're going to be all in on Brunson like this, I'm not saying we got to build around Brunson, but we got to put pieces that are going to maximize his potential.
Right. The only player that I see that can and it's not like I don't feel like they can play together, but it's probably Julius because his area is gonna be around the same area where Brunson wants to drive in through.
exactly, yeah.
And having Obi Toppin there instead of Julius is gonna spread the floor more. There's more motion. So that's better in that sense.
Although
Me,
Julius
I would
said he
like to
wants
keep
play.
I'd like to keep Fournier for the spacing of the floor. I'm not talking defensively. Defensively, I'm gonna be riding Thibodeau a lot this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But offensively, I would like to have Fournier there, RJ Barrett on the, if he becomes again what he did 2 years ago, I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I'm really not mad at that because now he can pick and choose if he wants to drive or if he wants to shoot, but minimize his role to where he doesn't get overwhelmed. He's still only 22 years old. There's no rush for him to develop into, Jason Tatum at 28 or 25 or 26, whatever his age is right now. He's still very young.
Yeah, but he's a baby, man.
He's still growing. He's still learning. So have him there do the same things he did 2 years ago. I'm not upset at that. He had great numbers 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And Mitchell Robinson will be the defensive anchor. So if we can find a way, I'm not saying that I'm on the train of get Randall out of here at all cost. But if it helps facilitate Utah's goal of shedding contracts, and it helps me facilitate me not having to give up as much kids or different types of players because of the contract, me having already a power forward on my team, I would go and do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I say we could, if we get Spider, why can't we base our game around the way Golden State plays, like with Mitchell and Brunson as our guys who shoot threes? You know how they do pick and rolls and they constantly running in and out. You got Arctic to shoot.
But CC, we do that already. We just hadn't had the personnel to execute it.
But that's what I'm saying. With Brunson and Mitchell, now you can run those kinds of plays. You got, if Julius wants to take that lesser role, play like Draymond, be a passer, a rebounder and a passer instead of always trying to score, which is probably never going to happen. But just saying. And then you got Mitchell as like a loony.
He passes.
It can.
Randall passes.
Yeah, because he averaged 5 assists a game.
Right, but let's not take too many shots. Take less shots. Give the ball when you see that open guy. Stop trying to force it.
But check out what I'm saying though. The thing is Randall had to do that because when you say run Golden State's type offense, remember Golden State has Steph and Clay, and we had Burks and Fournier. Mm-hmm. Burks and Fournier are not Steph and Clay. No, listen, hear me out.
No, I got you.
Hear me out.
My bad.
So they run this. They run the similar offense. The Knicks run it the 7th most amount of times, right? It's just that the Knicks didn't have the personnel to run it, so it forced RJ and it forced Julius Randle to take those shots. But once you upgrade the talent, now Julius Randle and RJ don't have to force those shots. RJ can become more of a Wiggins. Julius Randle can become more of a Draymond, and the 2 dynamic guards that you added or that you look to add in the offseason can fulfill those roles that you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And so because Tibbs wants to run, what it is when you look at the metrics from the season, Tibbs was legit running the same thing as everybody else, but there was such a dearth in NBA talent, NBA ready talent, right? I'm not going to say just in talent, because the kids were talented, they just weren't ready, right? They just need time to develop. And so when you have that, and Derrick Rose is hurt, Kemba's hurt, Burks playing the point, other guys missing games. It was like it was just too much for that offense to even get off the ground. But now, if everybody, and this is solely based on everybody staying healthy, reasonably healthy, right? And I'll say reasonably healthy is about 70 games. If everybody plays 70 games, I think we can aspire to that goal that you just mentioned.
That'd be nice.
With Brunson, with Spider, with RJ, with Julius, with Mitch. I think Mitch is better than their center. I think Mitch is better than Looney.
Yeah, I do too. Yep.
Right? And right now, offensively, Julius Randle is better than Draymond Green, and it's not even a conversation. But defensively, Draymond Green is better than Julius, and it's not even a conversation.
Now, who's better, Clay or Mitchell?
Right now, Donovan Mitchell is better.
I'd say so too. But
right.
All right. So the comparison I was trying to make before is the last team that, and yes, I understand Luka technically led that team, but the last team that Jalen Brunson led was a 52-win team, okay, that he was the point guard for, okay? If we compare apples to apples with that starting lineup to what the Knicks have right now with Mitchell, RJ Barrett, and then you go down the line, like compare those two starting lineups. Like that was a 52-win team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitchell and Luka, like RJ and Luke, like to me, RJ's game can kind of be like almost like Luka's game, honestly, because he has been that way before. He was a passer, you know. He has vision, and Luka isn't really that efficient of a shooter. You know, that's kind of RJ's like that too, unfortunately. We're hoping he gets better at that.
They're both still super young players too, though.
Yeah.
So that shooting could come, in a year or two.
And look, I'm not saying RJ's Luka's level. Don't get twisted.
I understand that. Yeah.
I mean, the mix between Mitchell and RJ's game can give you kind of what Luka does, more or less.
Combination and points wise and
right
assists. Yeah.
But then the other thing is, I mean, look, they did all that stuff with Finney-Smith and Bullock and Powell, as their other starters. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at rosters, I mean, man to man, I mean, that was a 52-win team. I mean, it's hard for me to not say. I know I'm drinking the Knicks Kool-Aid because I'm a Knicks fan, but I like what we have if we, on paper. But I know the game ain't played on paper and all that stuff.
And you still got to give it like a year at least before we really can judge it, unless they somehow gel right away. But it never works out that way. But
and we're a better defensive team.
There's a comment out there saying why would the Lakers want Julius if he doesn't equate to space on the floor, because they need shooting. Just realize that even if they let Russell Westbrook expiring contract expire off their books, they still have no cap money to sign any players.
Right.
So their best bet is to sign their best player that they can get their hands on to a longer deal, as long as LeBron James is in town, to try to win a chip now. All right. So it's not like Russell Westbrook goes off expiring and they have $47 million to go sign a free agent. What they'll have is mid-level exceptions, the stuff of that nature, and those players really don't equate to star level players that can help you win championships. Role players, yes. Star level players, no. So if you're trying to get some value for what Westbrook's expiring contract is, you're going to get players that have longer deals on their contract. And so in actuality, making it seem like the Lakers had signed these players, not the team that's trading them.
Right. Okay.
And look, I said this last night. I have no problem keeping Randall.
Me neither.
We were a second round playoff team with Randall as the number 1 option. Just, what can we be with Randall being the number 3 option? Think about that. I mean, that just shows our potential.
That's all on him.
You know,
it's all on him. It's all on his attitude. See, he's a great player. He's just a hothead.
Little.
Yeah, I'm cool with keeping Randall as well. But if that helps facilitate us, instead of having to give up Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, you know, if I get to choose between keeping some of the young players that we've developed, instead of having him, and getting Donovan Mitchell, then I think that's a gamble that I'm willing to take.
Well, that's the thing too. You want to keep those. You want to keep these young guys because if we get Spider, you give away the picks, and then you develop these young kids, and then you trade these young kids later on for that big star because they'll have some NBA like a background. They'll have a playing experience. You know what they're going to be in the next couple of years, at least.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, or maybe those players will turn out to be better players than we think.
And maybe we keep them. Yeah, exactly. You don't know. We don't know.
I know we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose some of them. I just don't want to lose all of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I want to keep the team competitive, and the team has been constructed. The way the team has been constructed, I think it's been constructed not knowing that Donovan Mitchell was going to be available at this point in time. Right?
Yeah,
so
they were going to go after him, just not at this moment. Probably,
not right now. Right? So the team right now, even if we don't trade for Donovan Mitchell, the team is set up for the success that they're going to have with the way they're building it. You know, Brunson, Fournier, RJ, Julius, Mitch, the bench. That team is built to try to succeed, try to win 40 games this year, try to be over 500, try to be in the play-in, try to be a top 7, 8, 6 team. With Donovan, you're gonna have to. It's gonna be some regrouping to do because you know you really wasn't ready for that at this point in time, and hence could be the reason why they're being so patient. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, to me, with the Brunson move, and if we make the move for Mitchell, I can't be satisfied with less than a number 4 or 5 seed the first year. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Yeah, I would hope too.
Yes.
I would hope so
4
too.
or 5 seed is what it should be. I mean, I don't see anything less than that.
I've seen crazier.
I feel like
things,
every
though.
game will be good. Every game we're going to be in the game. I feel like with Spider and Brunson and
Brooklyn.
RJ
Brooklyn had James Harden half of the year, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they were only able to get, I think, the 7th seed. So,
right.
I still say if we keep these young kids, our bench is better than most benches in the league. If you look at it,
right? I
because
agree.
we spend money all on B plus players. We got a bunch of B plus players, and then the bench is a bunch of B rookies. You know, so like we're gonna be a team that's always gonna be in it. We're gonna be dogs, like this guy said, Brunson. It's just a team that's gonna play with heart, and that are all good players, but aren't superstars. You know, so I don't mind that. And Donovan leading the way. Why can't Donovan win a championship for us? D-Wade did it in Miami with a beat up Shaq already. Shaq wasn't in his prime
and beat
anymore.
up Shaq, beat up Gary Payton,
Yeah.
beat up Jason Williams, beat up Alonzo Mourning. Remember Alonzo Mourning was Shaq's backup, remember?
Yeah, it was the fucking
Yeah.
it was
And who does a lot of
Senior
people
citizen.
say that Mitchell reminds them of?
Yeah, D-Wade, exactly.
D-Wade.
2.0 they were saying. Stephen A was saying 2.0. So if D-Wade is if Mitchell is 2.0, why can't he win in New York? I don't understand. Because he's small? He's got a 6'10 wingspan. Did you see this fucking guy break the rim the other day?
Oh, he plays like he's 6'5". The way he plays, and Brunson too. Brunson plays a lot bigger than 6'2".
Yeah, they play bigger than what they are. They got fucking heart. I want these guys. They're gonna play every game almost all year. They're considerably healthy. The guys that we're talking about on our team.
I just need to find a way to be able to get Donovan Mitchell and have enough pieces so I can get cap space next year and try to get Andrew Wiggins.
But you gotta
I want.
but you gotta get Spider first.
You
Yeah, you gotta get Spider.
obviously you want to
But
get
why,
Spider
why do we
first
have Wiggins if
No, we
RJ
got
Barrett
RJ.
is
I think
Wiggins?
RJ's gonna be better than
because
Wiggins, bro.
because Wiggins can help us win right now while we still develop RJ.
What position is Wiggins gonna play?
He'll play the 3 and RJ will come off the bench.
What?
And that's going to be super. That's if you're looking at it in the sense of a
I
team,
can't
not
give it to RJ.
A guy
Why
that could
Tyler
potentially
Hero.
be about to get the max is
RJ's
going to be off the
RJ's our
bench.
guy,
I don't
bro.
think so.
RJ's our face, bro. RJ's the face of our team,
But
man.
then,
Like,
hold on a second. Doesn't mean that he's going to finish on the bench. Because then that when you get
What,
get
at
down
the end
to
of
the
the game?
nitty gritty, when you get down to the nitty gritty, Wiggins will play your 4, RJ will play your 3.
So, Wiggins is 6'4", bro. He played 04.
No,
Wiggins is
6'7"?
not 6'4", my guy.
Yeah, Wiggins is
I-
6'7".
if this is the case, I'm waiting for Anthony Edwards when he
You
decides
might
he
need to
doesn't want
look
to be on
that up
Timberwolf anymore.
because
Nah,
there
Anthony
ain't no way
Edwards,
he's more than 6'5".
Yeah, he
Anthony
is.
Wiggins.
Anthony Wiggins is 6'7", man. He's 6'7". I'm sorry.
I want no. I'm
And,
saying, I want
so
Anthony Edwards.
how about Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah,
Oh.
Andrew Wiggins is 6'7".
Yeah.
I didn't say. Did I say? Was I the one that did that? Did
I
do
know
that?
what you were trying to say, so it's okay. We
I
can
feel like Steve Urkel right now. Did I do that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I'll give RJ up for Anthony Edwards. How about that? That's the only time I'll give RJ up.
But all I'm saying is RJ, the path that Wiggins was on, RJ's ahead of the ascension that Wiggins had. Wiggins never fulfilled his potential until all of a sudden he goes to Golden State.
It's just a good system, man.
Right, he's right, but he's okay. We talk a lot about the defensive side of the ball with Brunson and Donovan. Andrew Wiggins is a perfect 3 to go with that backcourt. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're really building a team, that's the type of 3 that you need.
They listed Barkley at 6'7" too. He was really 6'4" and a half, 6'5". I get it.
Yeah. Well.
So you truly believe
that was 20 years ago, bro.
But he ain't a 4 though.
You truly believe that Andrew
he
Wiggins is 6'4"? Is that what you're saying?
What was he playing?
No, I'm not arguing
hold on
that.
a
I'm just saying he's not a 4. I was over exaggerating.
What did he play this year in Golden State when they were in their death lineup?
3.
No, he played the 4.
So who was
He
playing
played the 4?
Well, all right, go ahead.
He played the 4 when Draymond was at the 5, and their death lineup this year was Steph, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green.
And Draymond Green is smaller than Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. And then when they subbed out, and I'm talking about the depth lineup when they went that the beginning of the third quarter, the depth lineup where they suffocate you, they would sub out Klay and bring in a dude named Otto Porter Jr., right? And Wiggins would go back to the 3. Porter would play the 4, right? And then they would sub out Jordan Poole at the 2 and bring in Gary Payton Jr. Oh, Gary Payton II. I'm sorry. Right? And so for more athletic defensive guys.
But you can do those kind of things when you got the 2 best shooters of all time on your damn team. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, there's things you can do that other teams can't do, period.
And then plus Draymond Green is a generational defender, Hall of Fame type defender. Right? He's lost a step now because he's older, but generally, for the most part, Klay Thompson, Gary Payton, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Otto Porter are all excellent NBA defenders.
Excellent.
Right? All of them.
Right, and we do need more of that. So I really would like him on our team. You know, we need more of that. So
I'm just saying,
yeah,
there's other guys there's other personnel that can fill those needs and not have to lose RJ or other guys.
But you're
like
not
that.
losing. You're not losing RJ. RJ would just get put on the bench for the beginning of the game.
So how's the
I
face
don't-
of the franchise supposed to be?
Well, I don't know. That's just far fetched.
Because you're trying to build a team. You're not trying to just build. You're not looking at one guy. You're trying to build a team. So if you have Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell as your backcourt, and you have Andrew Wiggins as your starting 3, Obi Toppin as your 4, and Mitchell Robinson as your 5, RJ Barrett coming off your team as a 6th man, you're really looking at competing now. And
What do
I
you
thought
think
that's what I thought that was the end game. I thought that was what.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I'm starting to strongly question if you guys just want a nice feel good story or you guys want a championship. That's what I'm starting to question.
Well,
now,
what's
because
RJ's?
if we're
What's RJ's
exactly.
afraid to upgrade a team to make your
Exactly.
team more competitive rather than, oh no, I can't do that to RJ, then what are we doing?
No, it's not. Can't do that to RJ. To me, it's a lateral move. I don't think Wiggins is that much better. It's an illusion. He has the illusion of being better because he just won a championship on that team,
right?
And he was successful
with 4 other great defenders.
With 4 other with 3 other Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
all right.
the amount of,
All right.
the amount
That's fine. Everybody can have the opinion on the player per se. Like if you don't think that Andrew Wiggins is an upgrade.
What was he at Minnesota?
Not that. But
Exactly.
but the thing is, Minnesota. When every time somebody bring up Minnesota, I always throw Minnesota in the trash, bro, because Minnesota Minnesota has ruined many of a career, bro. The Timberwolves have ruined many careers, bro. And so yeah, well,
he hates that franchise now. Well, he hates the
What
owner.
were you gonna say, Freezy? Because I feel you're gonna say something nice.
Why wouldn't you just keep the 18th best defender in the NBA as opposed to signing another guy to $20 million more than what you were going to pay Randall?
Bingo.
Because I would like to have that type of guy, bro. Like I would like to have that 6'7" wing defender.
Duly noted. Okay. All right.
So that right there tells me that.
But what if Cam Reddish can become that guy? For a lot cheaper.
Bingo.
He's
but the thing is, but we talking
How
about.
do you know that? He's played 2 years.
But we
really
talking about
1.5.
But we talking about a dude that's already playing the 4, already knows your offense, already here, already making $23.5 million, and he's already the 18th best defender in the NBA.
Already.
So why would you upgrade him instead of upgrading defense in another position?
Well, the better question, Freezy, is it even really an upgrade?
Is it an upgrade?
I don't think
I
that
don't think so.
Randall can play the same perimeter type defense that Wiggins can play.
Okay, so can Wiggins?
But Eddie C, he went from being in the season that he made the playoffs, he was the 4th best defender. Right?
No, I get you. I understand.
He had a bad season and he dropped to 18th.
I'm not devaluing Randall's defensive prosperity is the word, probably the best word. But if I'm trying to get Donovan Mitchell, and my first hypothetical trade was getting Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers so that Utah could use Westbrook's expiring contract, then there's a hole there.
Right.
Okay. So it's all locked in. I'm not taking it by parts. So it's all locked in. And if I'm trying to build
you're talking about the move after the move.
I'm always talking about the move after the I'm always talking ahead.
I know. Let me bring in Jay Boogie real quick.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting. That's right. On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting. Right. Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting. What? You can see my vision through the podcasting. But don't forget Jay Boogie when I'm broadcasting. I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears.
Jay Boogie, what's good, boss?
Hey, salute. 3 capital S's. Blessings to everybody. Help and safety to everybody. I just want y'all to know, I'm inside my mom's house. Y'all already know the situation, what happened with my mom's. And I'm starting the process where we moving and selling the house, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with that. And we in here going hard, man, sweating and everything. We ain't got no music, no nothing playing, you know what I'm saying? We playing the podcast, man. So what y'all doing, man? I appreciate the entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Today, y'all like a radio station for us, man. Y'all doing what y'all doing, man. I just wanted to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for what y'all doing, as a fan, you know what I'm saying? More than anything, man.
No doubt.
Y'all the greatest people in the world. Y'all on the panels all over the world, and y'all in the chats all over the world, man. So I just wanted to come and share that with y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get back to work, but I just had to let you know, man. Love is love. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate everything that y'all been dealing with me as far as with myself, my situation, with my moms, how y'all help me get up out of the situation, how y'all keep me strong, how y'all keep me tuned in, and how y'all keep me upbeat after the great Lord above us that, opens my eyes and give me light. You know what I'm saying? I see all that with y'all, man. So blessings, help, and safety to all y'all in the chat, man. Salute. 3 capital S's, man. Keep rocking, y'all.
Salute, Boogie.
Yes,
much love. Blessings to your moms.
Yeah, man.
Blessings.
Appreciate that, man.
All right,
that's Jay. That's Jay Boogie right there, y'all.
Yeah, continue having a great afternoon, man. I get back with y'all in the evening time.
All right, boss.
All right.
That's a fire intro, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's Jay Boogie right there, bro. Yeah, hey, but Eddie, see, I understand what you're saying. It's the move after the move, right? Right. I get it. But do you solely make that move anticipating you're going to get Andrew Wiggins? The whole move, Julius Randle, bring in Westbrook to clear cap space. Is that a move made with Andrew Wiggins in mind?
It could be. He's a CAA client.
Yeah, I know.
There's connections. He's also a teammate of RJ Barrett in the Canadian team.
Yeah.
He could be looking for the same thing Brunson is looking for, a bigger
role.
He's 28 years old right now. He could be ready for it.
Well, Brunson's a team guy. Why wouldn't Brunson play 6-man? Now you have a lineup of
you could
Wiggins,
you can
RJ,
do that. I mean, do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do that, whatever floats your boat, bro.
I mean, my thing.
That was my lineup. But if you want to do that, yeah, do your thing. I mean we're not gonna pick the lineup the coaches, but
I mean he's already the third option in Golden State technically.
It's like Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole will probably start for us now.
How much of a bigger role can we give him than that?
Yeah, I can't see. I can't
third
see
option.
This dude is not gonna. This dude is not gonna leave a championship team as a starter where he could have been the Finals MVP to come to a lottery team and come off the bench.
Right.
That don't even make sense.
I guess I wouldn't do it, but they have a lot of decisions to make. They have the Jordan Poole decision to make. They have the Klay Thompson decision to make. They have the Draymond Green decision to make. They're looking. They one of the teams that want Kevin Durant. They Golden State is top tier establishment. So
I mean, they still trying to get Wiseman going too.
Yeah, they lose players they lose great players to gain even greater players.
Yeah, I think Wiseman's a bust, bro.
So we're talking about a trade with Golden State?
No, we're talking about I'm talking about signing. Before you got here, Evergreen, I proposed a 3-team deal where the Julius Randle would get traded to the Lakers and Mike Conley would get traded to the Lakers to try to help them win a championship because they have no cap flexibility. And those players are players that can help them that now. Right. Russell Westbrook would go to Utah to try to facilitate them losing cap space because they have Donovan Mitchell at 30 and Conley at 22 for 2 more years.
Right.
And they can start losing right now. And then that would help the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell without having to give up, per se, Derrick Rose, without having to give up Fournier. There's your money right there to sign a free agent next year.
And Andrew Wiggins' contract is up next year, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, this is last year.
Okay, so why would Andrew Wiggins want to come here?
Because he could be looking for a bigger
Yo,
role. Because he'd be looking for a bigger role. I mean, everybody talks about why Brunson would want to come here if Dallas has no taxes on their thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that happen. There's reasons why people do that. I'm not saying that he wants to do that, but is there a possibility? For sure, there's a possibility. You know, there's connections in New York too.
So with all right, so just like this, I think Freezy just said this before. He was essentially the number 3 option as the starter at Golden State, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he's the number 3 option, when he comes over here to New York with Jalen Brunson, with Donovan Mitchell, with
RJ
Barrett, and him, what 2 players does he bump to get to number 1 or number 2?
He would obviously be the number 2 offensive option, and he'd be my number 1 stopper. So that's right there is a pretty big role to fill.
As opposed to the number 3 offensive option, and
that's disputable. That's disputable because they have so many. Klay Thompson is there. Stephen Curry is there. Jordan Poole is there, who I think is even a better scorer probably than he is at this point in his career. So that's debatable.
Right.
I just think we're getting.
I'm just trying to process.
We're going pretty far off base a little bit with this one. Just being honest.
Yo, Almighty Finesse, what's good, bro?
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, man, we can hear you. How you doing, man?
I'm chilling.
Yeah, man, listen, it's good to have you on the panel, bro.
You said what?
It's good to have you on the panel.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, we've been seeing you in the chat for a minute, bro. We couldn't wait for you to get up here.
Yeah.
Hey, where you at? You in the city?
No, I'm in New York.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You in the city? I'm talking about. Are you in the city?
Nah, I'm in Brooklyn area.
Okay. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. Hey, excuse me. How you feel about this Jalen Brunson thing, bro?
It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Okay, all right.
So his chat game is the same as his panel game.
Yeah, he's cold on it apparently.
So
Donovan Mitchell to come to New York.
Okay, so when Spotty get here, what does that make Jalen Brunson, in your opinion?
An all-star.
Yo, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I legit think the Knicks are gonna have 2 all-stars this year. But here's the thing: I don't think Brunson is gonna be that star, that all-star.
RJ.
I think it's gonna. Man, stop reading my mind, bro.
I'm sorry, man.
RJ Barrett's a ham sandwich. That's all I gotta say.
Oh
God.
Okay. VR, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's good, fellas? First time, long time. I've been in the chat for a minute.
Yeah, we've been.
I wanted to come and bless the crew, say what's up. Knicks fan from, 77. Marvin the Eraser Webster.
The Eraser.
You know what I'm saying? Like from back then.
Yeah, man. When he used to have the little teeny herringbone necklace. Remember, he used to get fouled and then be trying to tuck his little teeny necklace in.
Yeah. Michael Ray Richardson.
Yeah.
All that. From back in the day. Yeah, no doubt.
That's why when Evergreen G be getting all over me, I'm like, Evergreen, easy, bro, easy. I'm an old school fan for I've been through too many of these same scenarios, bro. You got to be patient with me. And Evergreen G be like, nah, man, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And I'm like, Evergreen, I understand, man, but you have to understand that I am like, even though so Evergreen G is basically the general of the army, right? So he got to understand that I'm them old school E7 that like to do things the old school way. Like Evergreen G want me to go by all these manuals, and I'm telling you, I'm trying to go by experience. Don't tell me how to fold up camo nets by some manual. I know how to fold up camo nets by experience. You know what I'm saying?
Your experience, bro. There's new camo nets.
Not
the same. It's not the same one you had in 1492, bro. It's a whole new one.
I understand, but I went through the transition of it not just being camel nets. Remember, you had to break branches and put it over your stuff, and then it was like, no, we got nets that look like branches and stuff. I'm like, really?
And then you still like, yo, go break the branches off the trees. We need them for nothing. That's what you're
for nothing.
Go break the branches off the trees.
And you know what? And you absolutely right. But that's what I was used to. That's why I'll be saying evergreen. Easy, bro. Let me ease into it, bro. Don't force me to do it fast. Like evergreen G, like, man, I gotta bring you up to speed. Easy, bro. Easy.
Yo, Freezy, I love the hell out of this analogy, bro. It fits so perfectly. So with that being said, sorry, first class Freezy, I apologize.
Bro, it is what it is. I still want to wear green jungle boots, and we couldn't wear those since like 19. We can. Those were those were decommissioned in what 89, 90. The green jungle boots, they legit wanted you to stop wearing them in 87, but they were officially decommissioned in 90, and we were still trying to wear them in 92. And like, soldier, you out of uniform. but anyway, Cash was good.
Good. Salute.
Cash rules everything around us. Cream. Get the cheddar. $1 bill, y'all. How you been, brother?
Yo, when y'all play audience for Wiggins?
I'm good.
No.
Why? Why?
Because Wiggins is not a franchise player.
Wiggins, he is a franchise player.
What?
For what franchise?
The Timberwolves.
What? So if he's a franchise player for the T-Wolves, why they move him?
Yeah. Because he didn't want to be there. That's why.
Yeah, but he's a franchise player. You don't move a franchise player.
Yeah, man. Wiggins ain't no franchise player.
They drafted him to be one, but he never was one.
Better question. So they traded, Minnesota traded a pick
to get rid of him.
And then they signed. Well, no, they trade. No, excuse me. Let's go back. Let's go back. Who did they trade? They traded Kevin Love.
D-Lo.
To get him. Right? They traded Kevin Love to get him. They got him. They realized he wasn't who they thought he was, and then they gave another pick away to get rid of him.
Right. So for the record, Minnesota did not draft Andrew Wiggins.
No, they traded.
Cleveland drafted him.
That's what I'm saying. They traded to get him.
Right.
But the original trade that sparked that was when LeBron got him. LeBron went and got him, right? So
but in my opinion, Wiggins is a franchise player, in my opinion.
Okay, what is a franchise player? Maybe I'm confused. What's a franchise player?
A franchise player, Jason Tatum.
No. I'm saying.
No, what is it? What is it by definition?
So Mitchell's not a franchise player.
No. The question being asked right now is,
what's the definition?
By definition,
yeah.
What is a franchise player?
Not give me an example of one. What's the definition of a
franchise player?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel you. Because Almighty Finesse, I ain't even gonna lie to you, because the definition does morph. It changes over time. It depends on the conversation, right? Like people will say, what is a franchise player? And they'll describe a number one option. Then you describe a number one option, and they'll be like, no, not that.
LeBron's a franchise player.
Right.
All right.
So I would say that a franchise player is a high-level talent that represents your organization on and off the floor.
Yeah, face of the franchise.
Right, face of the franchise type guy that you can market, but he also produces at a very, very high, not even very, very high, but at an elite level on the basketball court. Probably a 22-8 guy, right? 22-8. You know what I'm saying? And some level of defensive prowess, whether it's defensive rating or lockdown ability. Right?
Would you agree with this one?
I
Okay.
would also say that a franchise player would also give you the ability to win a chip. So in the NBA today, there are very few franchise players. We know LeBron. Kawhi falls into that category because he's
Tatum.
No, Tatum's not there yet.
So now you're talking about number one options. I think that's
Tatum is a franchise player.
Yeah,
Tatum
Kevin
is a franchise
Durant.
I would say so.
And I would put those three right now. Jason Tatum is not there yet. He could be on his way, but he's not there.
He is there. He is there. Tatum is there.
No, he's not there yet.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I mean, he's Boston's franchise player, basically.
He's not there. Sometime he's going to get there. He's going to get there, but he's not there yet.
Nah, he's already there.
No,
All right,
he's
let
on
me
the
explain
cusp.
the point.
He's on the
Let me explain
cusp,
the
but
point.
he's not there. And this is the reason why. Once you're not there until you win it. Until you get over the hump. You got to get over the hump to be there.
Is Chris Paul a franchise player? What about Chris Paul? What about Chris Paul? What about Chris Paul? Is Chris Paul a franchise player?
No.
No.
What?
Y'all are bugging.
Yeah, Chris Paul's a franchise player. Chris Paul is a franchise player, bro.
Cash, I agree with everything you said up until they have to win a championship to be a franchise player. That ain't true at all.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry.
You
I don't like
build.
I don't like tying team awards into
an individual.
Individual. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like saying Andrew Wiggins is a franchise player because
Charles Barkley is a franchise player. Patrick Ewing was a franchise player, and they didn't win the ship.
Right. Yeah.
Karl Malone.
Yeah, if Kevin Durant didn't go to Golden State and he didn't win that chip, would he have been a franchise player to you in your eyes?
Oh no, of course not, because he didn't win a chip.
Exactly.
I think that makes no franchise players.
But let me say this to all men.
How many NBA franchises are there?
30.
All right, so there's 30 NBA franchises. So that would imply that there would be at least 30 franchise players.
Exactly.
So, and usually the franchise player is the best player on the team. So is Andrew Wiggins
unless you're the Clippers and you have two franchise players. See, the Clippers have two franchise players. And Paul George,
each team should have at least one.
Is Bill Russell a franchise player? He's got all those titles. Was he a franchise player?
That's going too far. That's going too far for me, though.
Yes, but the thing is, Bill. But
I'm talking about in years, like he was playing in black and white, my man.
What about Will Chamberlain? Was he a franchise player?
Championship doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
Now, Freezy, you know where I'm going with this.
Yes. Yeah, but the thing is though, Cash is think about this. You said Bill Russell, right?
Yes.
Right? Bill Russell, right?
Yes.
But he also had Havlicek.
Yeah, they had a squad all the time.
They had a squad. They had Casey Jones. They had Donnie Nelson.
That's okay. So Bill Russell could be the same conversation that we're talking about Wiggins right now because he has a squad on the team, but he's still a very important piece to what they doing.
Choplo, you endure?
Can we at least keep things relevant to like the last 10 years, maybe? I don't know. That sounds more fitting. All I'm saying is there's 30 franchises. There should at least be 30 franchise players, at least. So if you do the basic math, because I know a lot of people don't like to deal with the new updated manuals, right? Because there hasn't always been 30 teams.
Because they're not even on Evergreen. They're not even on paper no more. They're on tablets. I gotta go get the manual off. I gotta look at a computer. I gotta look at a handheld device.
Right.
And that's not true because I'm down here in Orlando and there ain't no franchise player down here.
Sure.
Paolo is your franchise player.
Sure. Listen.
Paulo Banchero is your franchise player.
Sure.
Nah.
Listen. Either way.
No.
If
he's a rookie.
I would love to have Paulo Banchero instead of Julius Randle.
He's nice, but he's
I'll trade RJ for Apollo.
Can I trade you RJ for Apollo?
I
just want to say this real quick. Last thing.
I'm a Knicks fan.
If we know that there's 30 franchises, then there should be at least 30 franchise players at a
At a
minimum.
minimum.
Maybe.
At a minimum,
At
right?
a
There's
minimum,
even
right?
franchise players that are not even in the NBA. This dude is gonna get drafted this year is already a generational player. He's not even in the NBA.
Victor
But at
Wembanyama.
least in the NBA,
And there's probably a couple of 2 or 3 guys that are franchise players in that draft.
So my point is though, is Andrew Wiggins a top 30 player in this league?
But
No.
what's the point about? But he fits what we need as a team.
Sure, but not to be what we consider to be the
Everyone
franchise
needs
player.
the things he can do.
Sure, he could do a lot of
Right.
great
That's
things.
true.
Scottie Pippen
Right.
did a lot of great things, but he was never the franchise player.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
hold on a
asking-
second. So Holland, this is probably like the worst example that I can give of. But what happens if Andrew Wiggins wasn't on that team this year?
Then they don't win a championship. Sure.
Okay,
Nah,
so how
that-
important? So how important is he? So if you
It's
really
not
break
very
it down,
important. Listen,
how
I'm
important is
arguing
he?
the rhetoric. I'm arguing the rhetoric of him being considered a franchise player.
But
Because
nobody
if-
said. I didn't say that he was a franchise
I
player.
wasn't initially talking to you. I was talking about the idea that Andrew
He
Wiggins
was speaking
is
to the point.
franchise player.
He was speaking to the point.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess
not-
I
this wasn't an attack on you.
I tapped out for a second.
Yeah, I've already like done my best to rationalize the signing of Andrew Wiggins as opposed to keeping Julius Randle, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm associating myself with this current idea that Andrew Wiggins is a franchise player and we need him over Julius Randle. Now, for that,
I say he's a better
disagree
fit
it.
with Donovan Mitchell. That's my premise. I think he's
Right,
a better
right.
fit.
And cool. You're subject to that idea, but the idea that we need him because he's a franchise player and he's gonna be the number one over a Donovan Mitchell, which is what someone in the chat was alluding to earlier, is just preposterous to me because he's not even better than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
He's not even a top 30. He's not a franchise. He's not even a top 30 player
and
in this league
Wiggins
now.
top 15.
And the money he's going to demand is going to be more than what Randall's making, and he don't give us more than what Randall's giving us.
Right? Is he twice Julius Randle? Is he worth twice Julius Randle's salary? 40.
Hell no.
Most likely no,
because that's what you're gonna have to. That's what you're gonna have to give him. You're gonna have to pay him upwards of $44 million.
It's gonna be 40. Yeah, it's gonna be 40.
Now you know what
Upwards of
team
40.
will you know what team will pay him $44 million? The Minnesota Timberwolves will probably do that dumb stuff. Right?
got
Or,
Yeah.
You know,
They had their chance to do it before.
But there's only a
blew
few
it.
there's only very few teams that have enough money to sign him. He can either re-sign with Golden State, which is probably the 99% chance that he's going to do, or there's teams like San Antonio, there's teams like Memphis. Wow, he would look beautiful in Memphis. And there's teams like the New York Knicks that have the money to do that. Because the Knicks have put themselves in positions to be players every year
Hey,
now.
you know who else? Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Good point. Touche. Let me. I just want to ask Almighty Finesse just a couple questions real quick, because he's been rocking in the chat, man, and from a distance, he sounds like an interesting dude, right? Because I've been like watching some of the stuff in the chat. And I was like, man, if he ever get up here, man, I just want him to rock. I was hoping that at some point I could get him and Shotgunner together, but the schedule's just not. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you see what
man.
I mean? Frizzy's looking for trouble. You see what I mean? I know.
Nah, man, I
called
ain't
you out
trying
this
to start no
morning.
trouble, man. I ain't trying to start no trouble. We just having some fun. Hey, so Almighty, if we get Mitchell and Brunson, how far can we go? Legit, what's the limit on this team?
Eastern Conference.
Joe Madden. Go ahead, bro.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Go ahead, Finesse. Go ahead.
We going to the finals.
Okay. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro.
I appreciate the optimism.
I
hope you're right.
I'm with him. I'm scared to say finals though. I'm
Yo,
not bold
Almighty
enough to
Finesse
say
is
finals.
like the Tekashi 6ix9ine of the Blorange Tears network, yo.
Them.
Straight up and down, bro.
Who he snitching on, man?
Peace to the Almighty Finesse. That's a dope name, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Nah,
But-
but give me Wiggins on this team.
The only thing is how do you get him?
Free agency. He's gonna be free agent next year.
And I just gave you a platform to for the money.
Okay. So what?
All right. So what about the scenario where RJ goes off and is a 40% shooter, averages 20 still, averaging 4 or 5 assists? Do we need Wiggins?
Is there a world where you always coach Malpica? There's always a space in the NBA where you have more than enough of everything. So like they always say, you always need shooters, you always need defenders, you always need wing players. The more the merrier. So you don't have to, just because you have one guy. Like the Knicks had Julius Randle and they drafted Obi Toppin. Just because you have one guy doesn't mean that you can't have more of that.
They're
same
different.
Thing.
They're different kind of players,
which is great, because now if the coach feels like he wants to put Wiggins at a 4 and RJ at a 3 to start the game with Mitchell Robinson at the 5, I don't see a world in the NBA where that's strange now. Maybe back in 1990s that would have been strange, but in today's NBA, I don't see that being as strange. Jeremy Grant plays power forward for the Portland Trailblazers right now.
And look how he stunk up the place.
What are you talking about? He
said stunk up the place.
Look how he stunk up the place.
All I know is Wiggins did what he did on the best team in the NBA this year, and RJ did what he did on the dumpster fire.
RJ is garbage.
But ain't nobody taking nothing away from. There's at no point in time did I ever take away anything from RJ.
I'm curious to see non-chat in real words how Finesse feels RJ is garbage. Explain how
RJ is garbage. He did not play like a 3rd overall pick.
He has a gripe. He has a gripe.
Wiggins has shown value of the number 1 pick. The only reason Wiggins has shown the number 1 pick is because he's been on the best team in basketball. He was a bus rider this year.
Exactly.
It was like Kevin Durant was before. He wanted to get and he overreacted because he was on a good team. You put Andrew Wiggins on this team, you're getting Minnesota Andrew Wiggins, which was a draft bust. For where he was.
The question that's got to be asked is why wasn't anybody hooting and hollering and screaming and shouting for Andrew Wiggins? I don't know, last year or the year before that or the year before that.
No one was.
Before that.
I'm going to be totally honest. And I think Blorange, I think Uncle Freezy can attest to this. The only person that has brought up Andrew Wiggins in this chat has been me for the past maybe month now. Since they won the championship, I've been the only person that has brought up Andrew Wiggins on this New York Knicks team. So, don't put that on nobody else. You could put that on me because
but he said a month. He's talking about over these past few years.
That's what I'm saying.
The past few years.
Because after the championship, I realized how important he was. First off, secondly, I realized he was a free agent after next year. Thirdly, I realized that we have money to get him.
Yeah, but that, you gotta understand
that fourth, Donovan Mitchell wasn't even in the picture when I depicted Andrew Wiggins on my team. That wasn't even a thing at that point in time.
I'm still curious how Almighty Finesse says RJ is garbage. He still hasn't explained how he's garbage. All you're saying is he is garbage because he's the 3rd pick. You never said how he was garbage. Explain how you feel he was garbage.
He misses wide open layups.
Do you just watch Sports Center highlights or lowlights? Or do you actually watch games?
He's gonna let him troll him. That's okay.
No, I'm not trolling him.
No, not you. He's trolling you, and you're not.
Nah, Tekashi's trolling you.
No, I got you.
No, but you guys are actually comparing Canadian players against each other. That's wrong.
How is that wrong?
We do it with Americans all the time. We do it with European players. It's wrong to do.
Those two guys.
I mean, isn't Wiggins essentially Iguodala on that team? Harrison Barnes on that team?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. What are you talking about here?
And VR, and you absolutely right. Except Wiggins is a better version than Harrison Barnes and Iguodala.
A little bit.
Yeah, because Harrison Barnes was all offense with limited defense. Iguodala was all defense and limited offense. And with Andrew Wiggins, he is the best. He's Hannah Montana. He's the best of both worlds.
The best defender is scoring 19 points a game.
Okay, so that's
and in
so
the prime
all
of his
fine and
career.
dandy, right? So we saw that the best of both worlds did what he did in the championship, but he also had. So who's the Draymond Green of this team, and who's the Steph Curry of this team, and who's the Klay Thompson of this team?
But why are we comparing
Brunson,
ourselves to
Steph Curry.
There's no need to do that.
No. He's not comparing us to them. I understand what he's saying. Comparing who is the Draymond of this team and who is.
Listen, the reason you do that is because we realized right away that Andrew Wiggins' success was predicated on the abilities of everyone else on the team. Because if
The
it wasn't
foundation of the
predicated on
team.
that, then he would still be in Minnesota right now.
Right.
Okay,
The
I
thing
can
with-
understand
the
that
thing
to a
with,
certain point, but how does that when he plays defense against the best player on the team, how does that equate? Why don't you just put Klay on him then?
I just can't believe we're taking this much time and trying to convince somebody that Wiggins ain't coming here. I don't understand this one bit.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to change the subject, I can change the subject.
When is Wiggins' contract up? Is he after
Next
this
year.
season?
This is 24.
Wiggins gonna be free agent.
23. I'm sorry.
Then the conversation we should be saying is if we're going to get rid of Randall and open up money eventually for next year, after we get Mitchell, the next move, let's look at what free agents are going to be available next year. Besides Wiggins.
He's the top. He's the top free agent available next year. I already looked it up. I mean, I don't be talking on my ass
Randall
never.
for Evan Mobley.
No, I'm not accusing you of that. I'm just saying.
No, but if you get Mitchell and we already have RJ still here, and you're gonna get Wiggins, and we have Brunson, it's gonna be a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, Wiggins can play the small ball 4, and I think, to be honest, he'll fit better at the small ball 4 and nowadays
We already
game.
got a Wiggins. His name is RJ Barrett.
Right.
Measurables are the same.
I was RJ Barrett, Andrew Wiggins.
They even both Canadian.
And in the Western Conference, you can get away with a small ball 4 because they have less big, bulky power forwards. In the Eastern Conference, Andrew Wiggins is not guarding Julius Randle, Paolo Banchero, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He not gonna be able to guard these dudes rolling a nightly. Pascal Siakam. Come on, bro.
Yo, I see big ball in RJ.
Okay, so you said that Julius Randle is the 18th best defender, right?
In the NBA, yep.
Okay. There's a case to be made that if Andrew Wiggins comes into the East and plays the power forward, that he'll probably better that.
Nah,
Yeah.
bro.
Andrew Wiggins is not a power forward. He's a small forward, though.
He's a small forward, though, bro.
But the defensive IQ is way better.
He's a 2-3.
Yes. But how good is his defense going to be when you unplug him from Draymond Green telling him where to go?
Right.
Right.
That's my point.
And the reason why hold on, guys, let me say it. The reason why I know that is a real thing is because Julius Randle was the 4th best defender, and you took Reggie Bullock away from him, and he dropped to 18th.
Right. And this is not.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Guys, it's all about.
Take that for data.
And that's why Andrew Wiggins does well in Golden State, and Golden State is not going to let him go because they're going to try and get as many chips as they can while they still have their core 3 of Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. They're going to keep him.
Yeah, they got a conundrum there though, Cash, because they got
they're
those
not going to
guys.
let him go. They're not going to let him go. So he's going to be there. But, I think if anybody may be the odd man out, it may be Wiseman because they've done all this and really Wiseman hasn't done anything. So,
man, they can sign Wiseman.
He's expendable as far as Golden State is concerned. But getting back
They
to
can
our
sign
Knicks,
Wiseman for a bag
it's
of chips,
going to be about fit. And Andrew Wiggins doesn't fit with us unless we move other people. Is he going to fit in with RJ or whatever?
Hey,
That's the only team in the NBA that he could be a 4 on.
Like Margaret Edwards said, do y'all trust Tom Thibodeau and Wiggins together again?
Yes.
No.
Hell no.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's actually another point that I didn't even realize. That's another great point. Like, Right there,
Wiggins
that's
better-
another point for me trying to get Wiggins, bro.
Okay.
That's
Wait,
actually
so you
going
want
the other way.
Because Levine said he was play for Tibbs again. Sorry,
Because the
Levine.
Levine loved Tibbs, bro. So that's one narrative that I think is misconstrued.
That's a misconstrued
Right,
narrative.
how players try to say Tibbs is stern, but players actually do like that. You heard what Brunson said, so okay.
Tibbs would love Wiggins on this team.
He would love him, bro. To be honest.
Would he love him better than RJ?
Yes.
They can
Ooh.
play together. They can play
They
together.
together.
Okay.
But hey,
Tibbs loved Taj Gibson too, but we let him go.
Yeah,
Todd
good
Gibson's
point.
also 63 years old.
Yeah,
too, bro.
that's
Come on now.
Is he? I thought he was 64. His birthday wasn't.
And I'm not 100% sure Tibbs will be coach here by the time Wiggins hits free agency.
I can see Tibbs getting.
Yeah,
a
he's gonna be.
contract extension.
He just signed re-upped this year for 2 years, I think it was.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. If he re-upped, he could use one, and that means he's 1 year left in his deal, and then they can move on.
Yeah, but
They're bringing in.
imagine having
if they don't
such a
see
great
the
year.
offense running like they want, that they're going to move on from Tibbs and they'll put Johnny Bryant. Tibbs might even go upstairs, as Freezy said a couple of times. He might go into like a GM role or a role in the front office. But
right, but that's
So are we still paying
but that's
Joe
actually
Madden?
the biggest point, being that he has a voice. It doesn't matter because he had a bad year last year, he had a good year the year before, and they signed him last year.
I've been trying to move on for a half hour.
But are
They
we still
signed him
paying any
last
of the coaches and any other players right now going on to the season? Are we still playing people off or what? Like the Derek Fishers and other people that we had to pay off.
Nah, we don't do that. This
Joakim
regime
Noah.
doesn't. This regime doesn't do that. This regime doesn't slight coaches or doesn't slight players.
Okay.
They uphold them, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So
I think they're still paying Fizdale, though, right?
Right, that's what I'm asking. Are we still paying anybody?
They're still paying.
Has,
I think they're
has
still paying
Fizdale been
Fizdale.
gone 3 years yet? No, we're still paying Fizdale, but it don't matter because it don't.
Bobby
it don't matter 'cause
Bonilla.
that's coming out of Dolan's pocket. That's not coming out of like the team, whatever,
Yeah, so
whatever.
the regime doesn't
coming out of
matter
the
because
players'
it has
salary.
nothing to do with it.
Dolan's paying that.
Players.
Yeah.
It's not in the cap.
So hold on a
Yeah.
second, Madden. You trying to get rid of this regime? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm trying to get rid of the coach, bro. I'm not trying to get rid of the regime, and that's probably what's going to happen in the next year or 2 years at least. It's going to be you're going to have Tibbs. He's going to go upstairs or retire, and Johnny Bryant's going to step in. But what I'm saying is, when you're talking about past head coaches, we're still paying Fizdale. That has nothing to do with the current front office. That's all on Dolan.
That's human resource stuff, bro.
And now, just
yeah.
because the front office might want to keep Tibbs, Dolan could step in and be like, you know what, we're moving on from him.
Oh, so if Perry, I'm not. If Scott Perry was to leave, Tibbs will come in under Leon, is what you're saying?
No,
I think that's what they got the Minnesota guy for.
You would bring in Tom Thibodeau as an advisor to the team president.
Oh, like how Isaiah Thomas was.
Isaiah. I know Isaiah.
Hopefully not how Isaiah was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Like Steve Mills.
And Steve Mills was the general manager, and then when they fired Phil Jackson, they bumped Steve Mills up to the team president.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then he signed Tim Hardaway Jr. for $70 million. And we was
And then for the record, Steve Mills was never fired. Steve Mills was reassigned.
Reallocated.
Yeah,
he's still in there somewhere in a board membership.
He was reassigned to the entertainment and something else of Madison Square Garden. He's still an MSG employee.
Just like Herb Williams.
Yeah, he's just not the team president of basketball operations.
He's Dolan's best friend. Dolan, no matter what happens, Dolan always give him a job.
He runs the Rockets. Whatever bookings for the Rockets, that's what he does. He like push over there.
And so the thing about it is the one thing you can't not say about Dolan is, for one, you can't ever say the checks are gonna bounce. Right? Memphis, New Orleans, Sacramento, Cleveland, all these places, you gotta, if you get a superstar, you gotta sign them to the max already because you can't afford your team value to drop a little bit, right? But Dolan don't care about none of that stuff because the one thing, Dolan is a smart, very smart businessman. The Knicks are always going to be in great shape. You ain't never heard in your lifetime that the Knicks were in financial trouble ever.
You're right.
And that's big Dolan all the way down to little Dolan right now. You ain't never heard the Knicks be in financial trouble ever.
You hear all the reporters talk smack like, "Yo, we can't get into the press conference." You see people say, "How dare he not let people into?" Why? Because he can do that. Because he owns that. There's no other team in the NBA that could do that.
Right.
And why do people get mad over that?
And no matter how bad we are, we sell out.
Exactly.
And y'all remember there was a while ago, there was a 3-team push. I guess it's been about 15 years ago. A 3-team push. It was like the Knicks, the Celtics, and I think the Lakers were trying to get rid of the salary cap. Right? Y'all remember that?
Trying to do a baseball thing, yeah.
Yeah, they tried to get rid of the salary cap because the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Lakers could spend a gajillion dollars. They would have got so many stars that LeBron would have been coming off the bench. You know,
and they probably on the fourth report at the most whatever franchise, right? The most money.
But the thing about it is, it would have ruined competitive balance.
Right, kind of like baseball to an extent, because you're the top 5 or 6 rich teams in baseball. Like that's why you see the Yankees and the Dodgers. Those seem to be there because they have the most money. Yeah, and then you have the smaller organizations
and
like
their
Oakland
contract
A's.
is all about revenue sharing. So it makes
and David Stern was a big part of that. I remember that.
Small market teams can compete because it's all balanced through revenue sharing.
Yeah, it was a ruling
and fixed lotteries.
Yes.
That's what you know. Donnie Ainge will get that #1 pick this year.
So then the Knicks transitioned from having the mentality of like, yo, we can spend, we can get the best players now. We don't have to develop. We don't have to do this. We just trade for them. We sign for them. To now with this regime doing the Oakland Athletics way of thinking and doing money ball, and people don't get that. And people,
Jose Canseco?
And they despise that. They despise that. They don't want that. They can't handle that.
They don't want it in New York City. They reckon big markets should be able to buy the big players, buy the big names, bring it in. But it's not the case anymore. Like some leagues, the NBA doesn't have it like that, where these guys are leaving too much money on the line. So you kind of have to buy it through trade, free agency, or mostly kind of through the draft, because the way it's set up. But when you know
what I imagine, Joe Madden? Imagine if this way of the game now, or that element of it, was like this in the 90s. That market and everything, and the money and all, it would have been crazy.
Yeah, but the NBA's been overpaying for guys for potential for a while now.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying the 90s era of, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, back then there was a little more team pride. Guys stay with their team.
Yeah,
and
honestly, they probably shouldn't have, because teams took liberties with underpaying guys, and they did it dirty, and that's the reason why a lot of NBA players are forcing these owners to give them the bag, because
of the bird rights stuff.
Yeah, and look at how broke some of these former players are right now.
Yeah.
Like and not the dudes from the 90s and up. I'm talking about the dudes from the 80s on back.
Yeah, 60s,
right. Like
70s.
dudes play 10 years in the NBA and they ain't get no pension or nothing until Chris Paul came along. If it wasn't for Chris Paul, there would be no pension for retired players. Right?
Clyde Frazier says that all the time.
Yeah. That's the reason why I hate Chris Paul as a player, but I love Chris Paul. Every time I see a Chris Paul commercial for the insurance company, State Farm, I'm not thinking about Chris Paul doing a State Farm commercial. I'm thinking about how many former players are eating off of that State Farm commercial that he did.
Yeah.
Every time you see NBA player says, "Hey, Hulu has live sports," and you looking at LaMelo or
Lillard,
Dame or Joel Embiid, don't look at them. Look at how many dudes in their 70s are getting a small piece of that because NBA players are doing the revenue sharing with stuff like that. So dudes that are in their 70s that still have outrageous medical bills because of everything they contributed to the game of basketball, they can't afford to pay for their bills.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Selling their rent, they got to do these BS public appearances just to keep their lights on.
And then some of them be strung out because remember they have to take opioids.
Right.
Right. Because
they were taking them as players.
Right.
And then when they got out of the league, the pain never went away.
Exactly. We got a super score for that. I appreciate that. A lot of people probably don't even know that like that, Freezy. That's dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And so okay, so I got away from the Knicks winning the NBA title. Almighty Finesse was basically saying the Knicks can make it to the NBA finals. Hey, Finesse, what I'm saying is if we get Donovan Mitchell, I honestly believe that Spider Mitchell is going to be the NBA MVP for 2023.
We'll smoke.
I second that motion.
As a Knick. Right? Because
if they finish in his top 5 in the East, 100%.
I hope so.
He's going to be an all-star. New York's going to be behind him. Like, I feel if Julius Randle had that type of season he had in a smaller market, he wouldn't have made all NBA.
Right.
Pack him up. Get him out of here.
Who are you talking about? Mitchell?
Talking about Randall.
About Julius.
Nah, man. But the point I'm getting at is about Spider, not even about Randall. I mean, pack him up. So what? I'm talking about Spider. Right? The Tibbs bump is real. Y'all saw it with Rose. Y'all saw it with Wiggins and Towns. Y'all saw it with Randall. And then when you think first year Tibbs get his hands on Donovan Mitchell, you think he ain't gonna get the bump? You think Jalen Brunson ain't gonna get that first year bump?
Right.
I'm telling you, the Knicks are gonna have 2 guys in the All-Star game. I'm representing for the Knicks, and I don't know which 2. I know Donovan Mitchell is gonna be one. I don't know if the other is going to be Brunson or RJ. Or Mitchell Robinson. And here's why. And I said this before, right? So here's
why can't it be all of the above? Go ahead.
Why can't we have 5 All-Stars?
The Atlanta Hawks?
New York's got enough voters to do it.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But Mitchell Robinson is a guy that averaged 8 and 8 on 11% usage rate.
I'll trade Robinson, to be honest.
Huh?
I'll trade him, to be honest.
Who? Mitchell Robinson?
Yeah.
For what?
I'll
what are you getting in return?
2 first-round picks.
From Mitch?
2 first-round picks.
Bad move, man.
I think I'm on the wrong channel.
So we can give 10.
Why? It makes no sense.
Right, and not initially. You got to at least let Mitch make the All-Star game first, at a minimum.
First-rounders.
And we can get 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, in the first, and then by the time the All-Star game come around, Mitchell Robinson is an All-Star. You want to trade him for 2 firsts. That means you're taking an all-star center off of a playoff team and trading them for draft picks.
I think I got something for like Finesse that'll probably be up his alley. You know how
I'm gonna put this dog outside real quick. Hey, y'all just go ahead and rock. I'm gonna just put the dog outside, man. I'll be right back.
Hey, I agree with Busby in chat though. He said Mitch for most improved player this year.
Finesse, you know how NBA 2K you have a player, and if you match the card with another player, his rating goes up.
What?
Yeah.
In 2K, when you have a certain player and you match him up with another player, their value goes up.
You talking about my player?
Yeah, or no, in regular, whatever. That's exactly what's going to happen with Mitchell Robinson. Now with Jalen Brunson here, his value is going to go up, and his value is going to even go up further with Donovan Mitchell if Donovan Mitchell gets into town. So I feel what you're saying, because before Mitchell Robinson as a sole piece, if we would have the same team as last year, he's not that guy. But now you put a point guard who can penetrate, and you have a shooting guard who can shoot off the dribble, his value skyrockets because his defense is going to be even more impressive and his offense is going to be easier. So he's going to be a better player than what you
Yeah,
saw
well,
last year.
he's going to be a poor man's Rudy Gobert situation.
I'll trade Mitch for Clint Capella.
I would never.
I do that too. I do that too.
More money than an older dude.
Never.
How old is this? Are you in high school, bro?
Me?
This isn't NBA 2K, man. This is real talk. That ain't gonna work.
We just signed him.
This dude has his 2K rating, overall 2K ratings.
Let him rock. Let him rock.
How old is he? How old is Clint Capella?
It may work with the trade finder on 2K, but
how old is Clint Capella?
Clint Capella's around 29, 30-ish.
28, 29.
And Mitchell Robinson is what? 21, 22?
23,
I think.
23, 24.
He's 24.
Nah, but I'll trade him for Clint Capella, to be honest.
If they both had the same amount of if they both had the same contract, I would do it too. The contract, you also have to look at the business side of things. So the money's what really makes it.
What universe are you in, bro? You can actually agree with that.
I do agree with it because I want to win right now, and Mitchell Robinson still needs time to develop. Clint Capella is ready-made player.
Well, where has Clint Capella won?
Wait. If this was 2 seasons ago, maybe.
With the Rockets.
With Harden. He was good with Harden.
They traded him because they said, you know what, we're better off without a center than with Clint Capella. We're better putting Westbrook basically at small ball 5.
And
Capella will get him out of town. And Atlanta's trying to do the same thing. Atlanta's trying to move him. Why? Because paying these 7-footers who do nothing offensive, paying them upwards of $20 million is ridiculous. I even think Mitch getting $17 million is ridiculous. But you're better off with him than you are with 29-year-old Capella.
We don't need Mitch to score. We need him to play the 5 and be around to swat shit in the lane. That's all.
No, rebounds, blocks, rebounds and blocks.
And if we can get some nice,
not at $17 million. That's more of a $10 million range. You can get some block shots and play great D. You get $10, $12 million. $17 million, 15 annually is too much.
We need Mitch to be Tyson Chandler. That's what we need him to be
in this NBA.
And he's slim like him.
$50 million a year is a deal.
Exactly.
In this NBA. For 4 years, by the time he ends out his career, the centers are going to be making like $25 million.
Right. At the end of this year, that contract will be looking like a great contract. I bet you.
No, centers won't be looking at $25 million because centers' contracts are going down. By the time that contract's up, he might get a minimum contract at the end of this deal.
Yeah, or you lot had this conversation a while ago about the centers not making money as far as the powerful. I mean the shooting guards, the 2 guards. Yeah, the center position is actually going down in the league.
And that's why they're trying to, these centers, like Mitch was begging to get his bag now because he knows this might be the bag and the only bag after next one. He might get 10, 8 million, but he's not getting 15, 20 million on the next deal, no matter how much the cap space goes up because they're not playing centers anymore.
So what does that mean? They gentrifying the game now? These big guys got to go overseas to play? It's going to become more small ball in the NBA here in the States?
No, they just got to.
I don't understand this.
You won't get drafted.
They got to get in the lab and start shooting. They got to be like the Cat or an Embiid, like them big dudes that can shoot.
Yeah, Robinson, he developing a jumper.
Y'all see Mitch as our Robert Williams.
Do we see Mitch as our Robert Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he is
I
our
can
Robert
see Mitch
Williams.
as our Robert
Yeah,
he is our Robert Williams.
Exactly.
Go ahead, shoot. Go ahead, keep on going, bro.
Robert
Williams, baby, go ahead.
In my opinion,
Robert Williams is better.
Yeah,
he is.
I agree with that.
I disagree.
Y'all say Robert Williams is better than Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Man, y'all
look, guys, there's another situation where Boston has all them pieces and makes Williams look. Yeah, Williams is nice on the defensive side, all that stuff, but he has not got better upside than Mitch. He's not a better
Bro.
player than Mitch to me.
No, he ain't no better player. And then they got dudes that feed him that make him look better.
Exactly.
Right? You bring in Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. Mitchell Robinson gets if Mitchell Robinson gets 3 more shots a game, he gonna convert 2. So that automatically pushes him up
And also,
above.
Robert Williams.
When you were gone, we said that. When you were gone, we said that.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were gone, we said that his value
I was
is going to
watching.
move.
Like
His
Mitchell's
value's
got
gonna
to
get
be
better.
Tyson Chandler, bro, to me. Catch some lobs, score about 10, 12 points a game, get 10 boards, 3 blocks.
And that year that Tyson Chandler was our center and Carmelo Anthony was our power forward, how did we do that year?
Under
Damn
Woodson.
good.
That was probably one of our best years in the past 10, 15 years, right?
Under Woodson, yes, sir.
Yeah, but that was in a league where centers were relevant, not getting played off the floor. And they're like, it's okay. Like Mitch, we have Mitch, a good player, and we need to get to the playoffs. But once you start getting into the playoffs, I guarantee come the second round in a game 7, that's when the last time you're going to see Mitch on the floor in the playoffs. Because he can't shoot.
Because he can't shoot.
Because then you're going to do hacking Mitch. Anytime he touches the ball in the paint, you're going to hack him, send him to the free throw line because we can't make them either.
So would you play Obi at the top?
Hey, but guess what? But guess what happens every time you hack Mitchell Robinson? Guess what happened?
You get into the
foul trouble
bonus.
Right. And all it takes is for 5 fouls, and every guy that gets fouled after that. Because once Mitch goes off the floor and you got dudes like Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Donovan Mitchell that get to the rim at will, now you hack. Go ahead and waste all your fouls on Mitch, right?
Yeah, that's why that scheme has gone down.
And then at the end of the game, we got a parade of Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell going to the free throw line. And guess what they shoot from the floor together? 85%. This is not like when Elfrid Payton and Alec Burks and all them dudes was here when your guards go to the free throw line and it's an adventure. You know what I'm saying? And it's not Six Flags. It's not Great Adventure, bro. It's this whole thing is pick your poison with this team. That's the reason why, bro. That's the reason why you want Donovan Mitchell here is because if you collapse the paint and try to stop Mitchell and Brunson, we have a dude in the dunker spot that will dunk on anybody, that has the potential to shoot 74% from the floor with a good point guard, right? And Cash. When's the last time Mitchell Robinson played with a good point guard? Elfrid Payton?
Never.
Right. Okay.
But people, guys,
so
the last 5 games you played with quickly.
When you have better quality talent, your equity as a player goes up. Like we were talking about Andrew Wiggins, Golden State, as opposed to Andrew Wiggins, Minnesota.
Right.
Look at the talent level he's playing with.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Williams. Look at the talent level he's playing with, as opposed to maybe when he first came into the league. Now, Freezy, you're right on point. Watch Mitchell Robinson. He's going to be much better. He's going to be way better. Because
yes, sir.
You know why? You know how I know with
better talent.
You know how we know this? Because when he played with Elfrid Payton, that man shot 74% from the floor.
He was still doing good.
That man broke the NBA record for field goal percentage when he played with Elfrid Payton, and you don't think he's going to have that same impact with a player that's 10 times better than Elfrid Payton?
Yeah, imagine a pick and roll with him and Donovan Mitchell.
Yes,
no.
And you see the highlights of Mitchell with Gobert, right, and his other players. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying.
You just seen him do that dunk on this guy's court and broke the rim.
Yeah,
he went right. He crossed up Paulo Banchero and just he moved the rim to the other side of the floor.
And Evergreen, before you go, I think maybe halfway into the season we could reassess the Mitchell Robinson situation.
RJ's numbers go up.
Yeah, even RJ, right? We got to reassess the situation on how they look differently with these new players. Yeah, I think halfway in the season.
I even said, imagine having RJ in that same spot.
Let Evergreen go.
All right, I just want to show something real quick.
Sorry, Eddie.
All right, summary of 2021 and 2022. Mitchell Robinson played 72 games. Robert Williams shows 61. Mitchell Robinson beats him in durability. Points total. Robert Williams wins points total. That's 10 to 8.5. Total rebounds. Robert Williams wins 9.6 to 8.6. Assists. Robert Williams wins 2.0 to 0.5. But you go to field goal percentage. Mitchell Robinson 76 and compared to 73. You go to free throws. Robert Williams has got him in free throws, right? You go to
how many minutes?
You go to hold on, I got you. You go to
What's the blocks per game?
Wait a minute. Let him finish. Wait a minute. Let him finish, man.
He's going. Let him finish. Yeah.
You go to player efficiency, right? Player efficiency.
Also, Robert Williams is a better passer.
PER. Hold on. You go to PER. Robert Williams is at 22%. Mitchell Robinson's at 20.7%. You go to win shares. Mitchell Robinson's at 8.5. Robin Williams is at 9.9. But if you do this based off of total career, Mitchell Robinson beats him in every single stat.
Right.
Every single stat.
And the numbers are not too far off, right, Evergreen?
No, the numbers are almost a full point off. So we'll go points per game, 8.4. Robert Williams, 7.2. Rebounds, 7.5. Robert Williams, 6.6. Assists, 1.4 is the only thing that he beats Mitchell Robinson at is 1.4 is assists. Everything else, Mitchell Robinson smokes him at. So the issue that I'm bringing up is that Robert Williams popped because of the three players he's got on his team.
A better team,
forcefully including him in that this season. Because he signed that bag for $16 million, which they clearly overpaid for him during that time. They were forced to include Robert Williams into that player scheme. Mitchell Robinson hasn't been included in a damn thing his entire career other than lobs.
Yes, he did.
Other than lobs. So what I'm saying is now that you go in and you bring in a point guard who knows that he can include Mitchell Robinson way more than what any other point guard could include, I expect Mitchell Robinson's production on all levels to include offensive rebounds, to include defensive rebounds. Well, not defense. I'll say offensive rebounds, simply because we know that with Jalen Brunson, there's going to be a hell of a lot more shots going up as opposed to us playing the super strict, only Tom Thibodeau half-court ball. There's going to be a slight change in that because we know that we now have a legitimate point guard on the team. So when we say that Robert Williams is better than Mitchell Robinson, we're talking about a conundrum of force, being you're just going to take this guy and force him into the lineup, force him to be played for this particular year with Jason Tatum, with Jalen Brown, and with Marcus Smart, because we know that we're dedicated to him. But we know right now that we're dedicated to Mitchell Robinson too, and we also got him a point guard who, by the way, is better than Marcus Smart, if you ask me. So we should expect right away for Mitchell Robinson's numbers to reflect, period. And this is whether you got Donovan Mitchell or not. You still have a legitimate point guard on the team who is 10 times better than Elfrid Payton on every single level. So, yes, on paper right now, it looks like Robert Williams is better than Mitchell Robinson. But overall, hell no, I'm not switching out Robert Williams for Mitchell Robinson on any day. Absolutely not.
That's my point. You nailed it.
End of rant.
You nailed it.
End of rant.
That's it.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
Talent,
Evergreen.
You got better talent.
I agree with Finesse though.
As a player.
I mean, but that's neither here nor there. Like it's just that's opinion based. Which player you like better?
I'd swap neither out for either of them. I'd replace both of them with a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't to the point now. You can't shoot. You can't be on the floor.
But we got
Especially-
well,
okay. Hey, so let's have so let's have that conversation then. Let's have that because
Kevin Looney didn't shoot for the Warriors.
Cash, hold on, hold
Kevin
Cash.
Looney didn't do anything. Play
Cash.
defense, rebound. He didn't
Cash.
Sometimes you don't hear.
And y'all, let me hold on. Let me reset the conversation, man. The thing we jumping ahead, and then that's why people argue with you because when you cut somebody else off, they feel like they got to cut you off.
All right,
sorry, sir.
Yeah. Just let me reset the conversation so that we can all be on the same page, right? Or because if we don't, then I have to moderate. I have to put one person on the screen at a time, right? So. But here's the thing. To Joe's point, Joe said He'd rather have a stretch 5 and get rid of both, right? Here's what I'm going to say to Joel's point so that we can get into the conversation, right? What team has proven that if you play with a stretch 5, you can win an NBA title consistently?
Zip Zero, stingy with De Niro. Might buy your wrist, but that about it. Might like your wrist, but that about it.
None.
Right.
Milwaukee Bucks.
How many championships have the Bucks
They
won?
had Jan, they're the best player in the league that year.
Lopez, he can shoot.
Right. How many championships have the Milwaukee Bucks won?
3.
1.
One. Man, Kareem wasn't no stretch 5, bro. Come on, man. I'm too smart for that. Don't play. Don't play. Don't do that. I've been around too long. Kareem is not a stretch 5, bro. He had 1 3-pointer his entire career.
Stretch 5s didn't exist then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
Nah.
No. The Bucks won 1 championship. They won 1 championship with the stretch 5, right?
With a guy that was dropping 50 burgers.
Yeah, to me, a stretch 5. To me, a stretch 5 is kind of like a stretch 4, where it's just part of a screen, part of a scheme to make your offense flow better. But that's not the whole game. You know what I'm saying? There's other aspects to the game. There's defense. There's when you get down to free throw shots. There's other aspects. There's no doubt about it. If you have a stretch 4 on the team, and you have a dominant center, that your offense will probably look better, and vice versa. So to me, it's part of a team. Like
Brooke Lopez turned into a stretch 5 for that team.
We have. Are we forgetting?
But when you say stretch 5, you got to talk about somebody who is 6'9", 6'10", not 7 foot.
And then too, man. And then too, if you're gonna make a point, if you're gonna cut somebody off and make a point, make sure it's a relevant point. Don't just do hypotheticals. Right.
Well, here's relevance, Freezy. We have a stretch 5, and his name is Isaiah Hartenstein.
Right. I agree. Touche. I agree.
So he comes off the bench and he literally does exactly what everybody wants him to do. He replaces Mitchell Robinson,
the rim runner. He replaces the rim runner.
He replaces Mitchell Robinson. You guys want to replace Mitchell Robinson? There's a guy that literally replaces Mitchell Robinson on our bench right now.
And he does it in an interesting way because it's not necessarily spotting up for 3-pointers and shooting it. He's playing offense with the ball at the top of the key, which brings out the center, on defense and opens up the middle of the floor for driving lanes.
He spreads the court.
Right, because he's legit a 5 that can dribble, pass, and shoot. So the fact that he's a threat offensively brings the other team's center away from the basket, which stretches the floor.
So that means he's better than Obi at the 5.
Well, Obi's not a 5.
Or the 4. I mean, at the 4. At the 4.
Obi can be a 5. He's too short. He's too small. He doesn't. The defense isn't enough for Obi.
Because Obi might have to be a stretch, if you will, right? If people are hurt.
No. Man. So you can't say Hartenstein is better than Obi, bro. Come on.
Hartenstein is better.
I'm just,
Now, Hartenstein better than Obi? If Hartenstein is better than Obi, why we still got Obi?
Seasoned veteran, maybe.
And why is Hartenstein on a 4 team in 4 years?
Right.
Nikola,
like I like
he probably got more experience. I'm saying
he's not better than Obi. And if you remember Obi's college days, Obi used to play that same type of offense that Isaiah Hartenstein plays.
Okay.
He was at the top of the key, handing off and doing picks, and then rolling to the basket for open dunks. We don't utilize him in that manner because we don't play him at the 5. Dayton played him at the 5. But he can basically do the same things Isaiah Hartenstein can have. He's just not as big, and his presence on the defensive side is not as good.
So imagine him and Brunson or Mitchell.
We're trading Obi. He's not going to be here.
Technically, Porzingis is a stretch 5.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a stretch 5.
Right.
Somebody need to roof Porzingis. Get him out of here.
But
the thing is,
that plays the 5.
The thing is, we talk about the stretch 5, the stretch 4, the 3-and-D wing, the jumbo 2, and all the playmaking go. The thing is without a legit blueprint for what works, You can't say that you must have a certain thing if there is no definitive proof that if you change your roster for that it's gonna work. And then think about it. Then you had to move salaries, you had to draft a guy, you had to trade for a guy, you had to sign a guy in free agency to make these moves in order for you to follow a blueprint. But the thing is people follow those same blueprints. Listen, the Orlando Magic last year. Last year had 2 stretch fives. VR, am I lying? They had 2 stretch fives last year, right?
Mo Bamba, right? That's the
Only
name.
have one.
Mo Bamba and number 22. What's number 20? Wendell Carter.
Oh,
They had Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba.
He's not stretch
last
five.
Oh, what is he?
Wendell Carter, that's the power forward, small forward.
Wendell Carter is a
I mean, he
four.
could shoot the three.
When
He
you're
could shoot
saying
the three, but he's
blueprint,
not a stretch five like that.
it comes down to this: the blueprint of the NBA is this has become a guard-driven league, and the teams that have great guard play are successful. So that brings us to Brunson and Mitchell. If we start off doing that, the rest of the chips fall from there.
To me,
I like that concept. I like what you just said.
The most successful stretch five right now is Nikola Jokic, and Denver, went pretty far 2 years ago without the injury that happened to the guard. What's his name? They went pretty far. They went to the semifinals.
Jamal Murray,
the other Murray,
yeah.
So I mean, it can be done, but it's not a blueprint that is going to be repeated by other teams.
Guaranteed to win you a championship.
Yeah, it's not.
Does having Jokic guarantee you a championship?
No.
No. Because
he's good. He's a great player.
But he still needs a guard or two to to feed him.
So is this why Joel Embiid is not being successful? Because he's a great big man player too, right? He needs a real.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna bring it home for everybody. Pat Ewing is one of the greatest jump shooting centers of all time. How many championships does he have?
Yep.
Oh, you know what? That kind of hurts because I remember when
that baseline turnaround, baby.
I had the room for myself, and I was watching the Knicks games. My brother went to college. I had the room for myself. I was watching Derek Harper. Then we had Rod Strickland. I watched when Mark Jackson came here and all that. Like we had all these guys, but then yet, great point, Freezy.
Yeah, and G. Robinson says no one player guarantee a chip. That's the smartest thing I heard in 2 days. G. Robinson, that's the smartest thing that I heard in 2 days. You know why? Because it applies to multiple topics, right? Like people are saying, you can't trade the fall for Donovan Mitchell because Donovan Mitchell's gonna need help. But at the same time, what G. Robinson said is no one player can guarantee a championship. And think about this before y'all think of outliers. Do you know what Michael Jordan's record is in the playoffs without Scottie Pippen?
Wait, don't tell me it's less.
1-7. 1-7. He only won one game in his lifetime in the playoffs without Scottie Pippen.
Wow. And some would think it was MJ all the way.
Yeah. So basically what I'm getting at is Joe. I understand what Joe was saying about getting a stretch five. It gives you the impression that you can run a more efficient offense because the paint is not clogged up. But what I'm saying is if you run your pick and roll correctly, if you run your pick and roll offense correctly with efficient players, you get the same result as you would as a stretch five. Because if you run the Spanish pick and roll, your rim running center threatens the rim. You get a weak side cutter, a super athlete attacks the basket. Your power forward drifts out to the mid range, gets an uncontested look, right? Yep. The point guard attacks the rim. You get a strong shooter on the strong side. That way the defender can't double team you, as you go to the basket and dunk on a big man. Because if he comes to stop you, help his big man, then you're gonna have an Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, Donovan Mitchell in the corner for three.
Open looks, yeah, for open looks, right?
Sounds like you're describing the triangle.
No. It's not the triangle.
Nah.
Hold on.
Nah,
It's
it's definitely not the
Spanish
same.
pick and roll. The Spanish
Yeah.
pick and roll is when you're running two legitimate scoring option guards at the top on towards free throw line extended, and one of the power forward and the center both have the ability based off of where the point guard points at to figure out where they're going to set that first pick. And if the first pick doesn't get bid on, or excuse me, if the first pick does get bid on and it gets closed out, you have a kick out on the right side based off of
and you get the defense scrambling
either side.
Right.
Side.
If a defender and so as a defender, you cannot make a mistake, because as a defender, you're already in jeopardy because one guy is always open when you run it.
Right.
But if you make a mistake, then two people become open.
Right.
And you can either give up a layup or a three in a split second.
Now,
it's like DJ Cash. You remember when high school teams used to run the option?
Yes.
You remember the wishbone?
Yes.
Whereas if a linebacker made one mistake, it was a touchdown. Right?
Yeah, if he bit on the quarterback, usually you bite on the quarterback.
Yeah. If he followed the quarterback and the fullback had it, the fullback was going straight up the middle. Right?
Yeah.
And then if he bit on the pitch man, the quarterback would keep it and be gone for the touchdown. Yep. And then if he bit on the quarterback, the pitch man would be gone for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. And then so that's what I'm saying. It's what it is understand like the buzzwords like stretch 5, stretch 4, rim runner, all those different things. I get all of that stuff, bro. And it's a simple way for us to understand the game. But at the same time, it all comes down to systems and personnel. Right? It's the sense because the Golden State Warriors run the regular pick and roll. They don't run the Spanish pick and roll often. They run the regular pick and roll because they have two legendary shooters. You know what I'm saying? So they don't need Draymond and Looney to shoot one of them to be able to shoot.
They don't need them to
because
score.
they got two dudes that all they need is an ounce of space, and they're gonna make you pay with a 3-pointer.
Right. And they get around setting picks and moving around, right? Right in the
and they get their own shot.
I just want to say this, Freezy, real quick. This is for all the viewers. If you don't understand what Freezy is saying, that's fine. Just pull up YouTube and look up Spanish pick and roll, and you'll see how people design the play. And then tell yourself, if we had a starting 5 of Brunson,
Spider,
Brunson, Spider, RJ, Randall, and Mitch, stare at that Spanish pick and roll and ask yourself if that's going to be a successful. If that you see that's going to be a successful.
Bro, the pick your poison is crazy.
And it's so deadly when you have a guy that's and I look at it when I look at the Spanish pick and roll. I look at it is essential at that power forward position who has the ability to score at the high post, right, and to score at the high post elbow area, and
which is Randall,
dominant in the paint. Or you have that guy. Hell, you can just have a point guard that can barely drive and a shooting guard that can shoot well, and it's gonna work. But in this case, we have a guy with the only.
And listen, and viewers, I'm gonna tell you, listen, in the future, we're gonna have a Blorange Tears Youth League where Uncle Freezy and Evergreen gonna be coaching the kids from the Blorange Tears family. Please sign up.
I'm already listen. I'm already coaching now. I'm actually on the board for the Monroe Township Youth Basketball League. But anyway, just take a look at the Spanish pick and roll and see how it works with the option of being able to set a pick on either side with the lead guard starting and one guy sitting in the wing. That one guy sitting in the wing is going to be RJ Barrett, right? The guy that's designed to do your pick and roll to crash to the basket, roll to the basket is Mitchell Robinson, and the other option who's a dual option to pick and pop or pick and roll, is Julius Randle. And if there's trouble, you kick it out to a powerful combo guard that can make his own shot. And if you're doing it on the same exact side that Randle is, and he has trouble, you kick it out to the far wing where RJ Barrett has been having his role sitting there, and he's aware of that role sitting in the corner as being a 3-point shooter.
Right. And Evergreen. And so, say for instance, they blitz it. Say for instance, the defense is like, look, we ain't even gonna let you start. Soon as we see them big men to line up on top facing the same direction, we just gonna blitz it. Guess what you leave? The back door. You leave the back door lob option to somebody that can jump. And if we only had like a 6'9" power forward that can jump out the gym, if we had somebody like that, bro, we would be murdering teams.
We have Obi and Mitch. That's what I'm saying.
Well, all I'm saying, bro.
That was sarcasm, Chop. That was sarcasm.
Yeah,
and Cam could do that too.
Right. And so what I'm saying is systems and personnel win championships, offensively and defensively. Systems. That's what win. Like the reason why our U.S. military is great is not because we have numbers. It's because of organization and systems. Right? The reason why the government, and I know it's maybe a bad example, but the reason why is because of organization and systems, not because of the number of people.
It's no organization in government. What are you talking about, Freeze?
Yeah, I know. I know that's. I know that's.
I get what you're saying.
I mean, look,
just the infrastructure, the structure of it. You have the military.
Unfortunately, Freezy and Evergreen aren't the Knicks coaches. Well, let's ask Joe Madden. Does he think Tibbs is gonna do said Spanish pick and roll? Is he gonna have enough sense?
And Joe Madden's gonna be on a youth league. He's gonna be the guy bring them in the office. Listen, you can't have these kids running these plays.
No, it makes sense. They're bringing in the personnel to do it. My thing, it comes up to one or two personnel that's already on the team. Will it work? My other issues too with other personnel too, as I said, with the spacing, because you're bringing two. Like I get, there's plays you can run to open up the floor, but also outside them plays, you need to have the ability. You need to have a big man that to at least space the floor somewhat for Brunson and for Mitch and for Donovan Mitchell and RJ. Basically, all our guys in the roster need to get to the paint. Nobody's a main 3-point shooter. All of them can hit the three, but all of them need to get inside. And when you have a big man that doesn't have the ability to space the floor at all, that's going to cause some problems. Now, I do get what you're saying from that there's plays that they're going to run. That's going to make it work. But I still just have, in the long term, to have issues with Randall and Mitch fitting alongside Donovan Mitchell and RJ.
Yeah, but you know what? But Joe, okay. So based on all that stuff you said, I put data on the screen from last season, right? Y'all see the source? That's NBA.com where I pulled it up at, right?
Yes, sir.
That first column is possession, right? Let me scroll up so that y'all can see. This says, where is it? They're a team pick and roll ball handler. 21-22 regular season per game offensive stat, right? All right, so look who's number one. Look who's number one in that pick and roll possession.
Yep.
Y'all see who that is, right?
Wait, I can't see. I'm on the phone.
It was the Utah Jazz. It was the Utah Jazz.
And it wasn't Mike Conley running it.
It wasn't Mike. Well, he was halfway, right? Off and on, no?
Yeah.
Well, maybe, but a major contributor to that is Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was Mitchell, and really Brunson's pretty similar to Conley.
Right, and then look at the team that's seventh. Because the thing is we switch around the narrative so much, it makes it seem like nobody can trust what we're saying. Because we always want to blame Tibbs for everything. Tibbs don't have an offensive system. I show you Tibbs' offensive system. Then it's like, well, the personnel won't run it. And then I show you that the personnel does run it. And then it's like, well, will Julius Randle do such and such? I show you what Julius Randle does do such and such. And it's like, all we want to do is blame Tibbs, right? The thing is, instead of that, how about we just embrace what we are? How about we just embrace what we see in the mirror? We are a heavy pick and roll team without pick and roll talent.
Right, because and you know what attests that to the most, Freeze? Look at field goal percentage in that top 8. That's what our problem was.
I see it. I see it. That's what you notice. Everybody is in the 40s except us, right?
Yep.
But then, can we compare that to when Woodson was here, or no? They're still going to be the same argument. Like everybody keeps trying to say.
I mean, but Chop,
Okay.
compare what to Woodson. What do you want to compare to Woodson?
No, I'm like this season when Woodson was here.
You know, no, I'm asking you. Like, are you the pick and roll offense, the offense in general, the personnel? Because if you go by just the personnel, bro, it wouldn't be fair to Mike Woodson because the personnel is still going to be inefficient.
Right. Okay.
And then if you compare Mike Woodson to the last time he was here, he was not the head coach.
Right.
He wasn't in charge of nothing. Right. So what I want to say is this, man. If the more we like make excuse for us not being able to run something, the more it seems like we're just desperate to make wholesale changes. And if we're desperate to make wholesale changes, we should just say we're desperate to make wholesale changes. But to say, well, the offense ain't gonna run because Randall ain't gonna run it. It just make us sound like we hate Randall. Or, well, Mitchell Robinson can't shoot threes, or RJ Barrett can't finish at the basket, or Alec Burks is old. Evan Fournier can't defend. Listen, man, I get it. But how about this? How about the data that's on the screen right now? This is data. We have proof right here.
Yeah, I'm not doubting your proof, Freezy. We went through this before. They do run it. But they run it efficient. And they're going to be bringing in 2 penetrating guards. I get it. It's going to make it better. But how much better when these guards' main game is to get into the paint and nobody else in the starting roster, everybody else on the starting lineups is main ability and objective to get into the paint? Then you're going to have issues because who's out on the perimeter respectively enough for them to guard. Like all of them can hit the 3, but none of them are like.
Wait a minute. So do you want
shooters.
But Joe, you want all of them in the paint, and then you want
what I'm saying is that's their RJ's main game is getting to the paint. Julius is getting to the paint, but he's settled now on jumpers. We know Donovan Mitchell's a 3-level scorer, but his main thing is getting to the paint. Jalen Brunson is getting into the paint. He shoots over 60% and getting into the paint. Most of his shots is in the paint. So where my issue is, you have 4 guys in the roster, and you have a 5 that can't shoot that needs to be in the paint. And if he's outside of the paint, there's no need for his guard to go out or his man to go out and guard him. So what I'm saying is that's where you're going to have spacing issues. Is they all have the same thing as trying to get to the rim. So who's spacing the floor? Because none of these guys are shown to be like all of them can hit the 3, but none of them are consistent 3-point shooters. We've seen RJ's up and down, Randall's up and down. Donovan Mitchell had a kind of a step down this year. Mitchell Robinson doesn't hit the 3 at all. Jalen Brunson isn't really looking for the 3. So
banish, pick, and roll.
But are you gonna run that every single play?
You can run it every single play because
I know, but you're also gotta mix it up too, and that's what I'm saying. Coming into like isolation plays and some stuff now with the guards, it's the spacing issues the problem. Like if RJ and Randall can get back to where this is where Freezy brought it up a couple of days ago. Randall and RJ both shot way more efficient from the 3 when they had guards. So is that what we're banking on? That now we have good point guard, a better guard play, that these guys can hit the 3 more efficiently, and then that'll open up the floor.
And I think that was Freezy's point. He said, being that we're going to have Brunson and Mitchell Robinson, it allows, and everybody saying the Spanish big in a row, to let these guys get in their sweet spots, like RJ and Julius Randle. Granted, Robinson can hit the 3, but he might one day, right? Whatever, if you will.
He's got to hit the free throw first.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you one other thing, bro. Just real quick, okay?
Can you Freezy? Can you pull up a video potentially? I don't know if you're able to do this. Can you pull up like a coach's what do you call it? Like a coach's clipboard video of how the Spanish pick and roll works? Because even if, let's say that was the only thing we did, Spanish pick and roll over and over and over and over again. The only way to really beat the Spanish pick and roll is to fight over the first pick, meaning the first center is, the defensive center calls out first pick for the guard, and he gets around it, right? But if you have a player as dynamic as Jalen Brunson, it doesn't really matter that much, right? But then let's say Julius Randle is the guy that's the pinch post or high elbow jump shooter off of the first screen, right? And he's able to do what he does off of it, assuming the option goes to the left side.
Okay.
Right? Now, let's say you switch it and you say, you know what? I want to go to the right side. And the first pick and roll goes to Mitchell Robinson. Now you have the lob threat and you have the wing three-point shooter to kick the ball out to. But let's say, you know what? I don't have Mitchell Robinson on the floor. Now I got Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor, who can legitimately do both. He can pick high and he can be the lob threat. And then you also have Obi Toppin, who's the first power forward off the bench for Julius Randle. He's the guy that's only going to be the lob threat. So you have literally those two things that are interchangeable. And oh crap, let's say you bring RJ Barrett off the bench. I mean, you bring this guy off the bench, Evan Fournier off the bench. He's the guy you throw into the wing on the Spanish pick. So it's like when you have these particular players, like the format of this team fits for. You can just run the Spanish pick and roll all season long. And so as long as you can run that all season long, and it's literally like a 3-option. It's the Spanish pick and roll right now has the ability to be what the triangle was in 1993.
And it's like
I'm looking at the video now. I know it involves like a double pick. It involves like a double pick. Like one sets the would set a screen, and then another one set a ball screen and move. It also involves movement, and I think that's the key to the effectiveness of it is movement. The guys are going to have to move. They're not just going to just be standing there. You're going to set a pick. You're going to move, or it's going to be some type of double ball screen, and then somebody, if you're a shooter, you could either flare to the short corner for the 3, or in the case of Mitch. He's always going to go to the basket.
Right.
I just want to say the Spanish pick and roll.
And here's the major thing. First of all, the pick and roll defender has to come fight through 2 people first, because if he stays under,
he's got to fight
a knockdown 3-point shooter is going to knock down threes all night, right? Secondly, when you command the pick and roll, the defense doesn't know how to defend because they don't know what you're going to call. Because what happens if you say run this with Hartenstein and Randle on the floor, and Randle rolls, which I don't suggest, but say they call it, Randle rolls and Hartenstein is at the top of the key for 3.
Yes.
Right? What happens is Randle is the major offensive threat. The defense collapses. You have an open 3 in the corner with the RJ Barrett, right? You have a cutter on the opposite side, Donovan Mitchell, or a wide open 3-point shot from Isaiah Hartenstein. Right? So
you guys are gonna tell me no teams can adjust on defensive wise, any game, any other team?
I just want to say one thing to Joe Madden's point. Like, even though we have all this inefficiencies when we were playing on the offense, right? The numbers dictate that we were inefficient in this and that. We were in a lot of games. Yeah. We just couldn't finish the games. And at the end of the game, at the end of the game, all this playbook and all this crap doesn't really matter. What you got to do is give the ball to your best player.
Yeah, we got to hit our shots.
Get out the side, give him the side, and let him go to work. So to me, it's like, yo, we can talk this and that, but we just need somebody to close a damn game once in a while. And now we can
And would
probably
that be
have,
Donovan Mitchell?
we
Would
probably
that be
can
him,
have
sir?
two guys, you know, that could take people off the dribble.
Nah,
And look at Donovan Mitchell's
but
win
Eddie,
share.
see, it does matter at the end of games, because what happens is when you get back to a situation where you just depend on ISO basketball, when you just get back to ISO basketball, defenses can set up against the ISO. That's the reason why you gotta run systems, bro. You have to, even at the end of the game. You can't just say clear it out and go get me a basket. That's a cop out.
It happens all the time.
I know, but I know. And how many people run it and don't win an NBA championship?
I seen a lot of times where
when
at
have
the
you
end of the
seen
game-
Golden State? When have you seen Golden State?
I've seen a lot
When
of
have
times
you
that-
seen Golden State? When have you seen Golden State say, "Hey, clear it out for Steph"?
I've seen it a lot of times.
No,
I've seen
you
it a lot of
haven't.
times where
Oh
Draymond
my
Green gets the
God.
ball
Nah, you
and
see the pick and roll all the time.
they give Clay the
you
ball
don't.
and he just shoots. You know, he just does these amazing things. Let's not talk about him then, because he's probably an exception to the rule. He's so
But
great.
but
He can
they're
do
the
whatever
they're
he
the
wants.
defending NBA champ and they won 4
That-
championships.
But he does it. He does it. There's points in the
Nah,
game where
you never
there's
see
points-
Steph Curry clear it out and ISO nobody, bro.
That's one of the problems that us as the Knicks had in the fourth quarter when we were ending games. We wasn't running system ball. We was clearing it out for Julius Randle. And although he was our number one option, his offensive repertoire, he don't have an offensive repertoire to not rely on an 18-foot off one, an 18-foot off one leg fall away jump shot. Sometimes you're gonna get that from him because he don't have that offensive repertoire. When we put Donovan or Brunson at the top of the key with that pick and roll, Julius, we don't need you to be Superman. Stay there in the set position in that corner. If they kick it to you, knock it down. That's an NBA shot.
Right.
That's a playground shot.
I remember one game where it was Donovan Mitchell against Jamal Murray for about 10 minutes in the whole game. They was just going back and back, off the dribble, back and forth, one-on-one. There was no systems. There was no, and it was probably like the best 10 minutes I ever seen in NBA basketball in my entire life.
It like Rutgers Park, right?
No, it was that whole series they had.
We have the possibility, and we have the possibility to get somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying sometimes when you playing ball, bro, and stuff gets hard and the defenses is really hard, you just got to give that ball to your main player and hope he make a bucket.
Which one? But Eddie C, which one of them teams won a championship that year?
Neither.
Sometimes it was Milwaukee. Didn't they give the ball to Kevin Middleton and say, "Yo, Kevin Middleton, give me a shot"?
Chris Middleton.
Yeah. You know what?
Kevin Middleton is in the chat. Kevin Middleton is in the chat.
Kevin Middleton, yo, I have a dyslexia.
Shout out to Kevin Middleton, bro.
Yo, my man, I got something wrong with me, brother. Kevin Middleton, yeah, that's Kevin Durant and Chris Middleton's son. Yo,
great shout out though.
But here's the difference though between really last year and 2 years ago. It's efficiency. We hit our shots 2 years ago. Last year we didn't hit our shots, and that's including Randall.
Yeah, because 1 year we finished in the top 5 in points in the paint, right? And then last year we finished 30th. I just had it up on the screen for like 8 minutes. The New York Knicks finished 30th in the NBA in points in the paint.
Chris Middleton's my nephew.
Bottom line is Freezy in agreement with you. If you look at go to YouTube and look it up, most teams in the modern NBA is running the Spanish pick and roll in some way, shape, or form. Phoenix, the Suns, and then also too, a lot of it is based on the personnel, and that's the whole key going forward as regards to our New York Knicks. We have the personnel to run it effectively, and in doing so, we're going to see better results as a result of running it. So we should see better.
And to that point, the Phoenix Suns, there are plenty of times. I know they didn't win a championship, and I know they were far from it this year. There was plenty of times when they needed a bucket, and having Devin Booker on their team, right? They needed a bucket, and you seen Chris Paul just pound that ball, bop, 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 take the shot, boom.
So now, citizen question then, right?
You know, it's we need the offense, but we need the players to run the offense so it could be more efficient, so we don't have to close games like that. But it's good to have one of them closers on the team because when your offense breaks down,
That's why I
when
agree with you. That's why
that's my
I
point.
agree with you.
That's my point. That's my only point. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it's you got to have those type of guys that can bail you out late in shot clocks and create their own to get a halfway decent shot up.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
And
but
we have players to do that. If
right.
And last year we relied on Randall too much to do that.
Yo,
Toward
LJ,
the
how
end of the
you
year-
just gonna come up in the chat and then not even
My
say
fault.
hello to nobody, bro?
I hijacked the whole
Good, man. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the chat, bro.
I appreciate you welcoming me, man. I appreciate it, Freeze.
Yeah, man. No doubt, bro. It's good to see. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So far, what I heard from you, bro, I think you got something. I be wanting to hear more of people that like Eddie C and others that be bringing that knowledge and stuff to the chat, bro. I mean, even though I do the back and forth thing, you know what I'm saying? It's because I be trying to get more information faster. Y'all know me. My only thing is that Yankees had us trash, bro.
Mm-hmm. What? Listen, man, 28 time winning championship can't be trash, bro. Can't be trash.
He all in his high chair because the Mets is balling this year, but that's all right.
I didn't see more Yankees in my lifetime than any other New York franchise, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. You ain't got to brag, bro. All right. Okay. You ain't got to brag, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
I've been down with the Knicks since Johnny Newman and Scott Walker. Be like,
yeah. You remember when you remember when Kenny
Gerald
Walker used to throw up in practice. Remember Kenny Walker used to throw up in practice? They was like, what's wrong with him? He was so nervous.
It takes, and that was enough earlier when we was earlier when the panel was talking about Wiggins. From an athletic standpoint, from a physical measurement standpoint, he seems to fit the role of what we need. That wing player that could guard the best offensive player on the other team. However, New York is a different animal. He was okay in Golden State because Draymond, Steph, they were
Clay. Yep.
Clay, they were the main men for that team, even from a media standpoint. After the game, Wiggins ain't used to having 20 microphones in his face like, yo, why you missed that shot to end the game?
Right.
You see what happened to Randall? Randall started missing shots. He didn't want to speak to nobody.
Right.
RJ had to step up and take on that responsibility. Takes a different type of individual to not only deal with the ups in New York sports, but to deal with the downs in New York sports.
Yeah, man.
You wouldn't have to do that though if Donovan
Mitchell
Mitchell was there and Jalen Brunson's there. You know what I'm saying? Obi
No.
Toppin's there.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett is there. He'll have help. This Julius Randle is just he's just different in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
He's just Julius Randle.
Yeah, he's just Julius.
Yeah, and so what I'm getting at with the Golden State Warriors thing and systems, bro.
Yes, sir.
Is the Spurs, the Warriors, the Bulls, they all had offensive systems where even
Jerry Sloan. Remember, Tibbs was the Bulls. Don't say the Bulls. Yeah.
Even though it wasn't necessarily plug and play, because some of the guys that played in those systems were generational talent, but you can depend on your generational talent to get a decent offensive look every time down the floor. It wasn't like Melo in Denver when George Karl just depended on pace to wear teams out, or D'Antoni for him to run through. I think Steve Kerr. I mean, not Steve Kerr, but
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash would cycle through three offensive plays in 24 seconds. Like, hey, get a shot up in 7 seconds. 7 seconds or less. If the shot not there, we're gonna run another play. If the shot not there, we're gonna keep. You know what I'm saying? Just look for hunch your shot. If you get an open look, take it. Right? But they never won championships. George Karl never won a championship. D'Antoni never won a championship. Donnie Nelson never won a championship as a coach, right? But the dudes that ran systems, they won championships consistently because you had the game plan for the talented player and their system. And that's why I say it's important for us to embrace, because it's important for us to embrace the offensive system, right? because we embrace the defensive system. You know, we were running aggressive, in your face, man to man, and ice pick and roll coverage. We not dropping, we icing it. We're gonna force that our big is gonna get at an angle, right, and force you one way or the other. If you closer to this sideline, he gonna get at the angle, so everything has to go towards that side. You know what I'm saying? And then the pick and roll. We ran a Spanish pick and roll in summer league, right? We kept running it and kept running it, and they looked terrible doing it, but they kept running it, which makes me think Thibodeau is going to implement that this year.
Like, and to beef up that point you made, Freezy, just look back. Michael Jordan was the best player in the league
at that time
before Phil Jackson came to town, but he didn't win. All of a sudden, they started running the triangle, and Michael Jordan was winning quite a bit. You know, you got a superstar in a system. You know that.
I think it was the yoga.
The
That's
yoga.
funny.
There was you doing yoga back then too? NBA players? No.
Phil Jackson was the one that implemented all that.
And
Pilates.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then look at the Lakers. Kobe didn't win until Phil got there and ran the triangle.
And I saw something. Sam Perkins, remember him? He had the dreads. He was somewhere doing yoga. He was like in a retreat somewhere. He was like in Tibet in the mountains.
Well, I mean, I think when you look at this idea of Donovan Mitchell, like I'm sold on getting him there or getting him here, but even without him and the skill set of the current players that we have, with getting us a legitimate point guard and the fact that we mysteriously picked up Isaiah, I think this changes a lot for us. I think the Spanish pick and roll becomes like one of the craziest options that will bear fruit on this team. You know, obviously the implementation of it in summer league wasn't clearly defined, but it shows that, hey, if I can even get these three young guys involved in it now, then maybe I can get them to understand the system. Because when summer camp comes, you know, when training camp comes, this is what I'm going to be running, and I want them to have, you know, because of their need to absorb things a little bit more, you know, let's keep running these guys in the ground with this, so that I have less screaming to do at rookies when it's time to actually implement it legitimately in training camp. You know, so assuming that that's going to happen, again, and that's all assumptions, but assuming that that's going to happen, man, I think this Spanish pick and roll will change everything. And again, I'm telling you guys now, like, just go and glance at it. Go on YouTube, look at somebody's clipboard, look at the Spanish pick and roll, and as you're looking at it, whether we get Donovan Mitchell here or not, or whether RJ's starting at the 2 and Randall's at the 3, or RJ's at the 3 and Fournier's at the 2, whatever combination you want to look at.
Yes,
just
sir.
kind of pay attention to the way the two screens look, who the two screeners are, and just imagine, okay, is Mitchell Robinson going to be the screener, or is Julius Randle going to be a screener? Is Obi Toppin going to be the screener, or is Isaiah Hartenstein going to be the screener? And imagine the rest of the players that we have on the team and what their capabilities are, and you will see the limitless options that come with that. At the end of the day, the ball's got to go up.
And are they going to implement it accordingly? Because clearly we're not implementing the defensive accordingly against other teams. Because okay, very good. Thank you, sir. Sorry.
Hey, Evergreen, I'm gonna say something to you, and it's gonna be petty, right? But if you bring up the Spanish pick and roll and the Knicks percentage of running the regular pick and roll, and how the Knicks have been planning this, your haters are gonna say it'll never work, right?
Yeah, they already say that. They hate on me regardless of what I say.
Yeah. Well,
is there a way? Listen,
I've never heard
season next season. Is there a way to differentiate that, so that way you could implement it in a conversation like how you guys having right now, where you can say, look how effective we was running the Spanish pick and roll instead of the regular pick and roll. Is
No,
there a
because we
way?
didn't run. No, because we didn't. This.
No, I'm saying this
last
next season
we didn't
coming.
run it.
No, this next season coming right now. Is there a way you could probably?
You gotta let people discover it.
Yeah.
Like people want to discover it on their own, even because when you tell them, like for instance, the narrative for the whole season was Tom Thibodeau does not have an offensive system. What system does he run? What plays?
Yeah.
And then you show everybody on the screen what he ran,
and they
like
still don't like
Julius
it.
Randle's ISO percentage, because people was like, all Tibbs ran was ISO Randle. Remember, ISO Randle was a thing, right? And then I think I showed State that. State was, I think, if I'm wrong, State of the New York Knicks podcast, I apologize. But I do believe a State that said Tibbs don't run no offense. All he do is ISO Randle. And then you show him Randle ISO numbers and show you Tibbs pick and roll numbers. You can't dispute that. That's data.
You're dealing with what's called cognitive dissonance, and this is why I'm not even going to sit here and go back and forth with people. I'm just going to say use your SpongeBob SquarePants imagination, right? And just look for yourself. Granted, there's no evidence that the Knicks will be successful with it.
Chop, your mic going crazy, bro.
Yeah, chop back there, scrambling eggs or something. There's no.
He's running the Spanish pick and roll with Mike in the pocket.
I'm gonna try it out for myself. I was like, let me try it out.
So for example, I mean, legitimately, everything that me and Freezy are speaking. Because when Freezy said that the other day, I think you said it yesterday. When you said it, I was like, you said it at Knicks at Night, and I was jumping in my seat, like, holy crap, Freezy's right. And I'm staring at it, right? Because I mean, we know how the Spanish pick and roll works. So everything that we're bringing up right now, it's all like conjecture. It's all like just an idea, right? But this is why we're telling you, like, go and look at it yourself. Like everybody should do their own due diligence. Maybe everything that Freezy and Evergreen G is saying is bull crap, right? Maybe I'm an idiot and maybe I'm a liar. Well, make a liar out of me and look at it for yourself. Right, and I can almost guarantee you that if this is a glaring issue right in front of my face, then it will be at least semi-visible for you. You know?
Right. That's all I'm saying, bro. All I'm saying, and LJ, all I'm saying is this. No matter what it comes down to, is ultimately it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmys and Joes, right? Because you get, no matter what system you run, you got to have NBA talent, right? And the better NBA talent you have, the more successful you'll be if you have a system, right? But what I don't want to do is have people think if you go get an offensive player, you don't need a system for that player to be great, right?
Absolutely.
They like, well, just back in the day, all you had to do was give it to Melo on the elbow. Nah, that's not all you had to do. Those teams struggled because Melo was an ISO scorer and nobody else touched the ball. And he didn't play up to his potential defensively. Right? Am I blaming Melo? No, I love Melo, bro.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I as a matter of fact, I named one of my fish after Melo one time, bro. I love
my
Melo.
My cat right now is literally named after Carmelo Anthony.
Right. That's
right
what
now.
I'm saying. So I don't hate Melo. I'm just saying that in order to win championships, bro, you have to have systems offensively and defensively. Bro. You just got to have it.
Now you're gonna get those one-offs every other possession, maybe 3 to 5 minutes out of a quarter where you need that one superstar to take over. But consistently, to be a legitimate winner, playoff basketball, you gotta have a system that works.
Right.
And pieces to that fit.
Right. Ashley Inc. says, is your cat Mellow selfish?
He actually is. He's so selfish.
Now she trolling now. She trolling.
Yeah, he's a selfish cat. He certainly is.
Yeah, man.
Salute everybody. Shout out. What's up, Uncle Freezy? What's good with you, man?
What's good, bro? What's good?
How y'all doing, man?
Man, I'm excited, and then I'm also suffering from spider fatigue, bro. I'm excited. I think the Knicks are gonna make a couple more major moves after they get Spider. But when are we gonna get Spider, bro? Come on, enough is enough already.
I
Bro.
don't think they're gonna get him, Freezy. I have a bad feeling,
bro.
You think so? Nah. I think we're gonna get him, bro. But I just think like
think so.
like what we talked about last night. It's
If
like,
we don't get him, who's gonna get him then?
right? Because I see them
He's gonna
holding
jump
on
in.
to him.
He's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Now they want to trade him. They ready to trade him, obviously. But that's the thing. If he don't go to us, who do y'all think he go to? You know what I'm saying? Like that's my question. It's like I don't even think if Picks is what's in the deal, then we got everybody beat by a long shot. But if they just gonna settle, I think they just take Hero, Duncan Robinson, and 2 picks, and just be happy with that. They got 7 picks.
All right. So I want to add to that, right? Because there's a huge narrative that will go around. I promise you, it will go around that if Miami gets rid of Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and 2 picks, that somehow that translates into the New York Knicks didn't do enough, even though we've sent out packages ideas to get them, and Utah declined because it wasn't enough. So we got to understand that this trade stuff. Now, if you want to buy into the New York Knicks conspiracy, right, that all teams are after the New York Knicks, and now that Miami's a part of it, like, sure, let's add that into the fray. But this idea that trading players is not a reciprocal thing is like it's crazy. Like you literally have 2 teams that have to look at the packages and agree to them. So if Miami decides to accept the package and Utah decides to accept the package, for whatever reason they find Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson to be more valuable, then it is what it is, and it's not our fault that we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. Right?
Yeah,
So
but Utah's in the market to get picks, not players.
Regardless of what it is, if they're in the market to get picks, and they only get 2 picks from Miami, then that would tell you that they're not in the market.
That's what we hear. I mean, Coach. I like that's what we're hearing from reading the reports. Hold on, let me go now. Sorry. That's what we're hearing from. That's what we hear from the reports. But my thing is like, we got the picks to do it, so it's like. It's some type of holdup, gotta be like that. That was my point last night. Like we got the picks. It's not like we don't have the picks, and we don't. It's not like we don't have to come down and leverage with them. And in reality, we know for sure that they got 5 picks. So it's idiotic in our head to think we only can give them 2 or 1 pick. Like we know.
The holdup is Ainge is waiting for another team to slide in to drive up the price. That's what the holdup is. But there ain't that other team that's in there to drive up the price right now. Otherwise, it would have been in the news.
Yeah,
and KD on the market too, right? KD on the market too. They trying to get him on.
I can see a world, man, where unless Donovan says, "Yo, I want to go to the Knicks," because there's a gap between what the highest Miami can offer, and there's a gap between what Ainge wants from the Knicks. Ainge knows we got mad picks. He wants to get a Rudy Gobert type package. Leon ain't giving him a Rudy Gobert type package, especially if he knows that this is all that Miami could get. That's why Ainge was trying to get a 3rd team involved. Unless Donovan says, I want out of here, take me to New York, I could see Ainge trying to play this so quietly that nothing happens.
But what is it, LJ? Yeah, LJ, to your point, like he can't really do that because he in the contract. So he can't really say where he want to go. But by him being in Mets games, by him wearing New York shirts on his Instagram, by him working out in the gym in New York, I think it's pretty obvious clear he wants to come to New York. So
he
you
can
know what I'm saying?
Trade the same way KD requested trade with 4 years left. He can
compare that, right? How that compares, right?
That just make I think that just make more highlights than like I think it's obvious he want to go to New York. That's what I'm saying. Like what's understood ain't got to be explained sometimes. Sometimes you can keep it player. You don't really got to say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be outlandish, but it's also a way of letting them know that you want to go. And like I said, by him on his Instagram wearing New York shirts and him being in New York, him showing up the Mets games, Rangers games, him working out with IQ, like, that's a clear sign that, hey, come get me, Knicks, or I would like to be in this facility. To me, that's
Nah.
why.
I mean, okay, you could take it that way, but to me, it could be looked at as a clear sign of I went back home during the offseason. I'm from this area, and these are NBA players that are in this area, so I'm balling with them.
Right.
LJ,
like
okay.
that. Unless
Yeah, but-
you put that pressure on Ainge and makes it abundantly clear I'm requesting a trade, Ainge ain't got the pressure on him. You understand? Like, Ainge ain't got that pressure. He already made the biggest deal of the offseason. And he don't have to put Spider nowhere.
Yeah, I want to answer your point. I'm gonna let people go. My point to answer back to that was basically like, we all know that his father played for the Mets game. So before years when he signed the extension, he been coming to New York, but he never ever showcased it that he wanted to come here. He never ever worked with a player that's currently on the New York Knicks roster. He never ever showcased that he was in a Rangers game. He never ever broadcastly made it known that he was wearing NYC gear. That's that's the point. He's clearly showing that he wants to be with us.
He's not.
He always comes in.
Subliminally,
like a subliminal.
And that also helps the point where you know Danny Ainge is trading everything on his roster. That also feeds into the point, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta get up out of here because they ain't looking at us as a what you can call it. They ain't looking at me as the future.
Right.
So
So Eddie C, I'm gonna say this, and I gotta wrap up too because I gotta do some stuff before Knicks freestyle come on. Right. Hey, Gunna, we gotta link up. I want you to help me do something.
Yeah, I hit you in your inbox on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. My bad. Okay.
You good.
So what we need to do? I'm sorry. What Danny Ainge did, LJ. What Danny Ainge did was a crucial sin. Right. What Danny Ainge did was he played his Joker early.
Right.
And the Rudy Gobert trade. Right. But he also has a bunch of Queen, Jack, and and now he can't play them because he don't have the King, Queen, and Jack. Well, guess who got the King and Queen? The Knicks.
Yep.
The Knicks. Right? Because if you play them low spades, the Knicks are gonna bust you over the head.
Right.
Yo, that's the most eloquent. You know what I'm saying?
See what he should have done is traded Spider first and
Exactly.
then went to Minnesota and then got that haul. Right?
See, I agree with that.
Because hold on, let me finish.
No, yeah.
Right. The thing is Minnesota was gonna pay that price anyway. Nobody was gonna outdo that Minnesota offer. Right? Who was gonna give the Jazz more than that for Rudy Gobert? Nobody.
The Hawks didn't. Even Atlanta didn't.
Yeah. So what he should have did is traded Mitchell first, right? He could have been like, "Yo, listen, you know, we can set the market, and right now, you know what I'm saying, it won't look bad on either side. Listen, give me these 5 firsts, 3 unprotected, 2 protected, 5 second-round picks. These 2 young players, we out of here." And we'd have been like, "What? Okay, done deal." Right? Because think about it, the second-round picks that we have in the 2023 draft are valuable because that's a deep draft.
Yeah.
So some of those picks will have the equivalent of a first-round pick in 26 and 27. Right?
Wow.
And so what Danny Ainge could have done is traded with the Knicks and got Mitchell, and then 2 days later did the Gobert deal, right? And this is why I say that, like, you do one in front of the other. You trade Spider, you trade Gobert, right? The next day, because you know the deal is on the table, and then by doing that, it doesn't look like you are desperate to rebuild for Victor Wembanyama next year. Right, but by doing Gobert first, it looks like you're tanking. And now the Knicks are like, "Hey, bro, we know you tanking.
Yeah,
So you can take what we give you.
well, that's what I said earlier. Where Utah played their hand already, and they already told everybody what they're doing.
Right.
With that first deal.
Right. But if you do it in a certain order, if you do it in a certain order, now the perception of the franchise is different. Because if you do Donovan Mitchell, right, and then the world to be buzzing, you could have snuck to Minnesota and did that deal, and then the world wouldn't have been buzzing about the Gobert deal. They'd have been buzzing about Utah getting all these picks, and then now people are like, well, how much is Pat Beverly worth? Give me two first. Give me two first, and we'll get out of here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now you could trade off, get Jordan Clarkson. Give me a pick and a half. Give me a first and a second for Clarkson, and we can shut down the shop, right? And now you're getting all the picks you want for the players that you don't want to have around, and you don't have to drag this thing out. Now you can't trade Pat Bev, you can't trade Clarkson because you may have to include them in a Donovan Mitchell deal. Whereas if you did the Donovan Mitchell deal first, you could have set your own market. But instead, they set the market with Rudy Gobert. Now teams are like, I'm not dealing with Danny Ainge because I'm not giving up that much. Because if Rudy Gobert is worth all of that, then Donovan Mitchell's got to be double.
Of course. Yo, I agree with that, Uncle Freezy. Yeah.
Hey, Andy, what's good, bro? My bad, Sean. My bad.
No, you good? No, I think you was going, man. I agree. What's up, Andy? How you doing, man?
What up, fam? Yeah, Freezy, listen, I think it's two sides of the coin for this situation. One is like you said, and the other one is actually, they can see it as a power move, trading Gobert for all of that. And now they have high expectations. Listen, if they would trade, let's just, throw a hypo trade, right? They're going to trade Mitchell to the Knicks. And the package is going to be like 4 first-round picks. What, 5 first-round picks?
Okay.
And what, probably RJ will be gone. Because if they're not taking Freezy, if they're not taking RJ, just Fournier and Reddish or Fournier and D-Rose, that means tanking. That means tanking all the way.
Yeah, all the way.
If they take RJ, they can be viewed as they're seeing RJ as the franchise player, and they're going to try to rebuild the team around RJ. Right? If they taking Fournier and trade packages that the Knicks want to give them, which is expiring contracts or next year's expiring contracts and picks, that still means the rebuild and tearing down the whole roster. So I think they actually are thinking that we got so much for Gobert that we need so much as a comeback for Mitchell. That's why they're not gonna. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna drag this deal out.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna do it like in a week or two. I think it's gonna be like
this is gonna be
late August.
Right.
So,
but you know what though? With the front office is not taking into account. I'm sorry, with the Knicks front office is not taking into account is you can't have this buzz forever. Right, because I know y'all understand that the Knicks have a very patient fan base, very patient, right? Or no? Probably not, right? Probably not. The Knicks don't have a patient fan base, bro. They don't. And if the longer you drag this out, the more what's the word? It starts with an A. The more the more indifferent,
Elusive?
the more indifferent don't start with an A, but there's another word I can't remember what it is. But the more indifferent,
angry,
or that and indifferent and everything else, the Knicks will get with this front office because we'll go back from the good vibes of Jalen Brunson to the bad vibes of the draft. We're like, yo, you can't even do a trade, and the dude want to come here, and Danny Ainge wanted. You got what it takes to do the deal. And you can't pull it off. All of a sudden, you take those good vibes, right, of the Jalen Brunson deal, and turn it back into what is this? We back to Keystone Cops. The only reason why you got Jalen Brunson is because he's your cousin,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And so now we go back to this thing. And while people say the front office shouldn't be worried about what the fans are doing, bro, during the off season, the fans run the show, bro. Like during the season, the players run the show, the media run the show, the front office run the show. During the off season, the fans run all the narratives, bro. Because during the off season, newspapers and media personnel are trying to satisfy the fans. They're looking for clicks. They are. And for those that think that's BS, anytime a YouTuber does a thing, they always check to see how many people watch the stuff that they did.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. I talk to YouTubers all the time. They be like, "Yo, yeah, man, I did such and such show. I only got 8,000 views, man. I thought I was gonna get about 11,000 views." Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm telling you this: the Knicks front office, the longer this goes, the Knicks front office are going to be under more and more pressure. And it might sound like, no, just wait and pay the right price. But when other contenders slowly start to enter into the picture, you know what I'm saying? When teams such as
Pat Riley.
I don't know. That's weird, man. That's weird because I remember an instance that my father back in the day, he was looking for a car. And there was this gentleman that had at that point, it was 2010, he had a 2008 car, right? And he was asking for a certain amount of money for this car.
Right.
And my father told him that he would give him $8,000 for the car. Over here, the cars are a little bit more expensive than they should be.
Okay.
He told him that he had $8,000 cash, right? And he was asking for like 11,000, some shit like that.
Right.
So it dragged out. The guy had the car, and he wanted. My father didn't know this, but he also wanted another car, right? So he wanted to take the money from the car that he was selling, and he wanted to upgrade and get another car, right? My father wasn't into that. He just wanted this car solely. He thought it was a good deal for the price that he was asking, that he was wanting to give up. And my father dragged it out, chilled in his house. He's got the money in the bank. Knicks got the picks in the bank. He's got the money in the bank. The guy had to do all the work, try to find somebody to pay for the car, try to find somebody to meet his price, try to find this and that. Other people might come on and say, yeah, I could probably get it for you, but in payments. I could probably get it for you, but I gotta finance it. Meanwhile, my dad has the cash in his pocket, right? All of a sudden, I remember the day like it was yesterday. All of a sudden, the guy comes to the house a month and a half later and told my pops, yo, I'll take your offer.
Okay.
And my dad went to the box, got the money to transfer the car over, and done deal. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to do anything. He had the most assets. He had the most assets at that time.
Okay.
So the Knicks have the most assets at the time.
Right.
I get you.
Right.
Hey,
to me, I get what you're saying about the fans. I get your point about the fans.
That's the part that you leaving out. Yeah.
I get the point about the fans, but to me, that's a non-point, though. To me, that's a non-point.
Nah, bro. It can't be a non-point if we talk about it right now.
No, it's good to talk about it. I mean, I'm not knocking the conversation.
Right.
But me, I'm different. Like, I'm different. Like, I don't think of it as like, yo, if Donovan Mitchell ain't playing on the Knicks uniform by the start of this season, I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff. Nah, I'm not like that.
I am.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I am.
Freezy, make sure you pull me down too, Freezy.
I know Freezy got to probably wrap it up and get up out of here in a quick second. But Andy, before we leave, I got a quick question for you. So with that being said, the desperation of how fans feel and how we don't wait, are you including RJ in the deal? Because my personal preference is if we would include RJ in the deal, I don't even think we need 4 picks. I think RJ, 3 picks, and somebody else get the deal done. So do you include RJ?
I ain't here. I had that phone ringing.
But they haven't shown what. How could you talk?
Coach, I asked Andy a question respectfully.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Shaw. I'm personally, I'm not giving up RJ in this deal because I think he doesn't have the certain amount of value. Not only basketball skill set wise. I think if his contract would kick in, the extension would be in. that the numbers would be easier to kind of match this deal by number wise, right? Then no, I might consider it. But RJ is still, so young in his career that I think even if you would want to build a package around RJ, you would literally have to give up like two first round picks. And I don't think they want that. I think they'd rather have 5, 4 and swaps. And just to add, guys, I'm not sure that it's possible to trade more than 4 picks, like unprotected. I'm pretty much sure that there is a rule.
Can't. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, there's a rule.
It's the 5-year rule. You can't trade out more than 5 years.
Yeah. So
Right,
so
but you
so
can
I
do
think,
the seconds.
yeah, you can do the seconds or swaps. That's why there's
Right.
deals out there. 4 picks and 2 swaps, 3 swaps.
Right.
That which I don't think swaps for us is going to be bad, because if we get Donovan Mitchell and lose only, for example, Fournier and Cam or Fournier and D Rose and those picks, I think our picks should be not lottery picks, right? So
Yeah,
at least that will make sense for me.
But to back up one of the points you were making earlier, Andy, about if Utah shows or chooses to take RJ, then they're telling their fan base that they prefer to sign RJ and give him max money over Mitchell. You can't go to Utah's fan base and tell them that.
I disagree, because they already. I mean, Donovan Mitchell already signed an extension. So how is that? How is that true, Coach?
What does that have to? What does the extension have to do with that, though?
You just said like so your point, you just said if Utah trade for RJ, you said, and they basically saying they want to extend him, basically, and you saying they don't want to extend.
But what's the sense of taking RJ then?
Because he's younger, and at the end of because they still have seats to fill, and at the end of the day, he's still a young player. Now I don't know if that's necessarily what they want to do, but if I'm them and I know I can get that out of the deal, and I know the Knicks is not easily giving that up, but I'm thinking logical wise. I'm thinking, hey, I'm rebuilding, so I will rebuild. Go ahead.
The Utah fan base is not dumb, man.
Of course.
They're not. They're gonna know. It's basically it's gonna show in their eyes that they think they're choosing RJ over Mitchell. But that's what it comes down to.
I don't think they matter about that. It don't matter. I think they care more about that. They definitely was just a 5th seed in the Western Conference, and now they're potentially out of the playoff. I think that's going to hurt them way more than about a player. Like they were just used to success. It was just used to success for a long time.
But that's where when Freezy was saying earlier, that's why his point was such a good point. Where they already showed their hand. They played their hand with the Gobert deal first.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So now to come back and do the RJ thing after, it just makes no damn sense.
But that's a Utah problem. That's a Utah problem. That's what I'm saying. That's a Utah problem. Yeah, I agree with Uncle Freezy. I agree. I totally agree with Uncle Freezy.
Let the big bro talk.
I don't see a thing on Twitter.
Ain't this Blanche Tears Big Freezy, right?
Yeah. I don't
see that's what I mean. All right, I'm
on Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now. I'm looking for my mentions right now. I looked at mentions and DMs. I don't see nothing.
All right, hold up. I'm about to look.
While you look, big bro, go ahead, big bro. I see you.
Yeah, you ain't in my. Yeah, you ain't in my. The last person that mentioned me was Athletic Alchemy. Right. But hey, y'all, listen. I'm gonna have to get out of here so that I could do some show prep for Knicks freestyle. And if me and Sha can get together, I'm gonna try to get him on before, so we could just rock the mic before those guys come on.
Nice.
If not, then they come on at 8. So I'm gonna come on 7. I'm gonna try to get Shotgunner to come on with me. And what we'll do is in 1 hour, not 1 hour from now, but in a 60-minute show, we're gonna go through a speed round and answer all questions from the chat. Just ask your question. We're gonna try to answer it as quickly as we can before Knicks freestyle comes on. Right? Guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to hit up Shotgunner, Andy, Coach, Chop, Danny, LJ, Finesse, Jay, Eddie C, everybody that came on. Thank y'all for coming on with me, man.
Thank
Make
you,
sure y'all
Freezy.
check out Andy's series on
it's-
Nothing But Knicks.
Yeah,
When's the
of
second
course.
episode coming out, bro?
Yeah, shameless plug, Freezy. It's gonna be today at 5:15. I'm gonna have Josh with me.
Ew.
You know, it's gonna be no controversy when Josh comes on.
Yo, Andy,
and I'm
quick
not
question
gonna shy
before you
away.
go.
And I'm
Andy,
not
do you
gonna
think
shy
this
away
deal's gonna get done?
from trade packages with RJ even for for Spiders. So we're gonna see how that's gonna grow.
Okay. All right. So I still don't see my man, but I guess I have to do it by myself. But hey, check out Andy Joint. I'm out of here, y'all. I will see y'all in about 3 hours.
All right, guys.
We're gonna come on
Much
3
love.
hours. And so the schedule, we're gonna do the flash round, Knicks freestyle, then we're gonna come back about, depending on what time Knicks freestyle, they go off at 9. So we'll probably come back at 10 and probably rock for like 6 hours till like 4 in the morning. So all right, y'all. I'll see y'all in a little bit.
All right, Pet.
All right,
See you.
peace.